Hey, we are here with the season premiere of season 3 of Elysian Road. We're back and better than ever. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited to finally be getting back to this again.
Evelyn Leidner is probably my favorite character that I've made. So nice. I love this.
What about the rest of you? Where does the Elysian Road character stand in your rankings?
Okay, I think at some point we need to have an NPC character give us all nicknames that are just like really stupid and funny. And I think Mr. McShooty Pants is
I feel like Ziva should definitely be the one to give Ode that nickname.
Oh, that's true. Ziva can do that. Yeah.
But also my name is already a pun. So
it is.
Well, it's only a pun visually, not verbally.
Still, it was still fun. I just didn't want it to be so unknown. I didn't want it to be like cash, so I made it sound different.
Yeah. I let you guys get away with too many things, I think. Is what we've decided.
That's why we love you.
Hey, Caleb, no matter what you let us get away with, you didn't let me get away with Anthony Dibblewurst.
I swear I don't do drugs.
I mean, as names go that you've picked, that's not the worst.
That actually is true, and that's what's sad. Yep. But anyway, we are back.
Was Platabaron.
Yeah.
That was my platypus.
I let you get away with Mognitus, though, so...
Yeah.
But before we can start, cool. Jared, pronounce your character's last name.
Test him.
Let me. Fergus McIken Ingernhale.
All right, cool. Just want to get that out of the
way. No, it's McIken Gurnahale.
No,
don't.
It's McIken Gurnahale.
No,
is it really?
There's a G in there.
Hey, Caleb, did you make the character?
Jared, I'm almost positive you didn't have an official pronunciation of this when you made it, and I had to look it up for you.
I don't remember it being that though. I remember it being pronounced how Jared pronounced it.
We were pronouncing it wrong for years.
Previous episode.
We're gaslighting Caleb. My name's actually been odd the whole time. So
perfect, amazing. This will be great. So we're back, and
my character's name has always been Violet Evergarden.
Wow!
And now we got sued. Great.
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and before he gets too much more punch drunk, we're gonna go ahead and give a little recap. It's not gonna be as extensive as the recap we gave last season. But I'll quickly remind everybody of what's been happening in the show so far, where we are currently in the timeline. So in season 2, you guys were headed to the coast system here, which is home to the planet of Kulo, which is the planet on which the Order of the Dust is stationed, based. And they are an enclave of mercenaries. High-class mercenaries, and you guys showed up with a giant capital ship stolen from a planetary government, and we're like, hey, we'll sell you this. And because the Order of the Dust actually in their faction turn had a goal that was currently like defeat a capital ship, they were like, you know what? Sure, yeah, we'll buy this capital ship. So you negotiated some things there, went to the actual planet itself because the real reason you were headed here is to find out where Evelyn's lost romantic interest.
Yeah. There was
never any actual romance
lover in the night
between the two of them. Mm-hmm. It was just like an unspoken thing.
Also, were you children when you knew each other?
Exactly, yeah. So it was definitely more of like a hero worship crush for Evelyn.
It was, yeah.
But anyway, cool. You guys showed up.
It was a solid anime romance where it's not this like weird, like touchy-feely
emphasis
stuff.
on
it's
solid,
like true heart of heart.
Yeah,
like
I don't know what anime you watch.
Affection. The good, non-raunchy,
Oh, no wonder I have no idea what you're talking about.
Non-fan service ones, you know.
Yeah. But you guys were headed there because Evelyn found out that's where he was, and was headed there to try to find him. You guys ended up doing a bunch of different things, including impersonating people who were going to be patients.
That's right.
At a high class hospital. One of these patients ended up having a strange psychic disease, which was like advanced MES, where MES pills weren't helping, and she was starting to like go insane. And Fergus was like, okay, well, I can't actually help you right now, apparently, but we'll try to help you later. And then Evelyn and Fergus headed off to the hospital to try to infiltrate it and find out where Vigo Sorum was. Vigo is Evelyn's lost flame. And because Vigo apparently had some sort of strange thing going on with him as well. They managed to do so, but not before fighting and killing two members of Krull's team, Alex and Victor. And once
they killing, but I think it was more like horribly torturing and mutilating.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Rip to more of Caleb's excellent made NPCs that
Thank you.
we murdered in one scene.
I made it so they'll live on.
Oh, true. You're right.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, they live on in his brain.
Well, so
and then
we'll get there. We'll get there.
I killed them. Yeah,
exactly. There's a whole big thing that happened.
So David killed them.
Yeah. So, you guys did that and then found Vigo. Well, first you found a clone of Vigo, and then you're like, oh no, it's a clone.
And I found the real Vigo.
And then you found the real Vigo.
I made some sort of roll for it. I don't remember.
The what's it called? The leader of Paragon Science, who was in charge of maybe not the leader of Paragon Science, but like the guy who was in charge of the program that Evelyn was a part of to create a perfect like psychic general for the Imperium. He was there with Vigo. Evelyn had a bunch of really amazing rolls to somehow get him to not only believe her horrible acting,
right,
but also get him close enough that she could inject poison into his veins. And then in the last moment,
I killed him instantly, didn't I?
Well, so what happened was I was like, well, the issue of Evelyn is that he's actually basically constantly dosing himself with every known antidote to every poison because he's super paranoid. Right. And you're like, I sense the need to have picked up the perfectly right the perfectly right, like other chemical that would like somehow negate his his antidotes and still make my toxin work. You did it successfully.
He dropped dead. Burned for that.
I think you at least talked about it, but yeah, you did. Yeah, you torched and you lost like 1 from your wisdom score, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It's still +1, so it doesn't matter.
But yeah, you killed the dude. And that's when Vigo's old team showed up. The side story characters that we had played with in season 1. They showed up and tried to grab Vigo from you guys. There was a short scuffle, but then Fergus was like, I'm Fergus, stop. And somehow in the middle of it all, Jenkins was like, wait a second, Fergus, you're my brother. And Jenkins was revealed as Fergus's long lost brother who he thought had died.
I forgot about that.
And they were like, okay, well, let's work together to get Vigo out of here. They were headed out. Everything was looking fine. And that's when Fergus had some sort of brain aneurysm, and and Alex and Victor, who were inside of his head now, their psychic personas, started screaming at him and like rising into the air cruciform in his mindscape, and it was terrifying and awful. And then Fergus went into like cataclysmic shock and started vomiting and like frothing the mouth and spasming all over the place.
And I left him behind.
And Evelyn was like, you know what? We don't have time for this. I need to get Vigo out of here. Bye.
Worst friend ever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so they ran off. The clone of Vigo, who Fergus had been holding in stasis with his telekinesis, was let loose from telekinesis and shot himself because he was like, I'm a clone. I realize I'm a clone. I don't want to live anymore. And then we cut back in time to Odin Dillon.
Because if anything happens to the real one, then I've got nothing.
Yeah. Then we cut back. Then we cut back to Odin Dillon back in time, and Odin Dillon and Till were in their safe house, kind of being on call in case things went wrong. Things started to go wrong. The psychic connection was cut by Krull. Till was like, "Okay, Odin Dillon, you're going in to go rescue them," and that's when Alex and Victor showed up to their place. And started wrecking stuff. Warbots were attacking everyone. Odin Dylan took those guys out, but then Till was captured by Alex and Victor, and they teleported away.
Yeah, we almost died, I think.
Yeah, you guys, it was a bad state there for a while. Odin Dylan ran away, got some healing at a medical center nearby. We're kind of like waiting tensely to see if they were going to be followed. They never were. And so Odin Dylan were like, okay, I guess we go still try to meet up with Evelyn and Fergus, and maybe we'll go get back Till after we get them. They went to the hospital, saw all the holes in the side, and we're like, what happened here? Went in, saw Fergus dead. And then Ode triggered a post-cog vision that actually sent him into the past. And in the past, when Fergus was still alive, he touched Fergus and went into his mindscape, in which he saw Alex and Victor and killed them in the psychic mindscape. In which case, Fergus lives, and in the real time, he's still in a coma, but he's alive. And then Odin Dylan took Fergus, went back to the Void's Grace, and flew off into space, trying to do what? Not entirely sure. I think the only direction you guys had was you took the lady with you who had advanced MES, and you were planning on going to where Ode's parents are currently.
Right.
Because Ode's brother also has this advanced MES thing that's been going around, and you were like, well, I guess we'll still help the lady try to figure out her advanced MES because we don't really know what else is going on or where Evelyn went off to. You saw the post-cog vision, so you know that Evelyn left Fergus, but what her plan is, unsure.
Just for clarity, my brother died, right? They're working on somebody else, but I don't think we know in game. We know who that is, but I don't think in game.
Yes. Oh, you're right. Yeah. I remember now. Yeah.
Yep.
So Ode's brother did have this. He died, and so his father's been obsessing about it, trying to figure out what went wrong. Yes, that is true. I don't actually.
Last thing, sorry, I missed that. Completely.
So Ode's brother also had this advanced MES thing, and died from it sometime in the past. And so currently Ode's parents are in hiding somewhere, and Ode's father is trying to figure out, like, he's obsessing over research and things, trying to figure out what is this advanced MES thing and how does he stop people from getting it because his son died from it. So, the thing is about this situation though, is that Evelyn is currently with Vigo's team, and Kiana, as part of Vigo's team, also is interested, also has connections to what's going on with the advanced MES stuff. And because Vigo apparently doesn't remember anyone anymore, there are weird psychic things happening in his brain, apparently. Kiana's thought was to also go to where Ode's parents are. And so you guys, I'm thinking you guys were pretty much just going to end up in the same place, right? And so there'll probably be some things that happen before that point, but that's kind of where we're headed currently. The only other thing I had a question about is, Evelyn, would you have gone to your revolutionaries and taken them along with you? Or would you have been like, okay, guys, thanks.
That's a great question.
You know, like, you did your job. I'm off to be with my boyfriend. Have a good life. Because I think that was what they were interested in doing, is like, we're just going to go off and be rich now.
Yeah, they already asked me, and they were like, we don't really need you anymore to take our planet back.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. We don't want to obligate you to do that.
No, they didn't even want to go take their planet back.
Exactly.
They were like, we can just go live and be free.
Yep.
And I was like, nah, get back in line, sir, or ma'am, or whoever I was talking to.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it just seems slightly odd to me that Evelyn would be like, okay, cool, take the frigate we bought you, and now we're what? Like, you know, like, if the whole plan is just to help Vigo, why do you need an army for that?
I guess it depends on what's happened in between, right? Like, it depends on kind of what Garrett is thinking. Right? Or not Garrett, what Vigo? That's his actual name.
Garrett's the name that he is known by among his team. Kiana and them,
Because it depends on their relationship, right? Because he doesn't remember her, right?
He doesn't remember anyone, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Or he doesn't remember his side
Exactly.
side character friends
that
either?
was the main reason that Kiana was like, okay, we need to go
Yeah,
take
okay.
him to this specialist because.
Okay. I forgot about that. Okay. Yeah. So in which case, no, I still want an army because
Got
I can't have my happily ever after that I'm looking for. And so
Until you get
Evelyn
it,
is like,
the army is
no,
still
yeah,
enlisted.
the army is still at my disposal because everything in my life, like to me, the weight of the entire galaxy hinges on this.
Yeah.
And so that means the entire galaxy needs to be involved if necessary.
Sure. Sounds great. Let's go ahead and so for everybody's reference, just make sure all the characters are in agreement, and players by extension, that's where we're headed, is to wherever the secret facility is. Like there'd be no real reason to not do that at this point, take any other detours. Because like the only other thing I can think of is that trying to get Till back would maybe be a thing you'd think of, but maybe it's just like we got to figure this thing out first, and then we can figure out where Till is.
Also, if that group took Till, they'll probably find us faster than we find them anyways. So
probably true. Yeah.
Probably just wait.
Cool. Well, let's do this then. Let's go ahead and start with a flashback, because that's what we do on Elysian Road. It's not always what happens on Elysian Road when I forget, but we try to make it the case. So the first thing we see in season 3 in terms of, so this is all obviously behind the scenes stuff that we were working on before, but now the show has actually started. We start with a scene on a new Imperium ship, some Imperium ship that's been brought into system for Krall's use, right? So floating in the void of space, we see, the wide angle of it. And I guess I should probably name it. Let's go ahead and generate a new name for this. The last one they had was the ISS Rubicon, which I thought was a fantastic name, but we'll see what this one is going to be. Lots of good names on here, but gotta make sure we have the proper one. Yeah, let's say they're on the ISS Oblivion. So we see this designation on the side of the ship. It probably actually comes on the bottom of the screen, like, ISS Oblivion, outskirts of 707, the coast system, and like far reaches of the coast system. And we then do a hard cut to what we assume is inside the spaceship, and we see a metallic room in which Till is probably, he's probably like not like tied up to a chair or anything, right? It's probably like a cell that he has been placed in, and the doors like magnetically sealed and locked and stuff. So he has free reign he's not like tied up or anything, or has handcuffs or anything like that, but he's just in this cell. And he is probably just like seated, kind of leaned against one wall, just kind of like, hands crossed, but like knees up, just kind of leaning back. And he is just kind of watching, like probably like tracing the rivulets on the metallic wall, trying to pass the time. And then we hear a hiss, and Krall walks in, and he says, Till Aderant, you might be wondering exactly why we chose to steal you. Well, I have to be perfectly honest. There were any number of weak points that I anticipated, and you just happened to be the one that was the most easy to get. Our plans with Vigo have, failed for the most part. But and we have other things in the works still. But for now, you are going to be a card in this game, and hopefully, you will not be a useless card. Until just like swears at him in Greek, just like one vile epithet, grunted at him, and probably the equivalent of "F you," that sort of thing. And
we get our one F word in for the PG-13 rating.
Right,
Is that
yeah.
kind of what the
No, it's
situation
all
is?
that's the thing. It's all in Greek. It's like in Firefly where like they always swore in
Yeah,
Chinese, so it didn't matter,
Yeah.
right? Like you could just do it for whatever for forever, and no one would be.
Yeah, no
offended.
one speaks Chinese. It's
Yeah,
fine.
exactly. At least no one who was watching the show, maybe. That's probably not true either.
Probably not.
But Krull just kind of like smirks and he says, see, what's interesting about that fire of yours, that passion, is that looking at what is actually available for you, the things that you can actually accomplish when locked into, when pushed into a corner, they're actually remarkably small, which is why you are the person we took. And yet, the members of the Void's Grace care deeply for you, and you for them. Maybe it would have been easier if we had grabbed Ziva, but you were smart and kept her locked behind an army of drones on the Void's Grace. Unfortunately for you, those drones were not at your service when we found you. And now, you have little else except, and he like looks at maybe his like smartwatch or whatever device he has on him currently, and he's like, your opera. Till just like frowns at him. It's not going to be much help when you're dealing with me, is it, Aderant? I don't know what your game is, Till says. But I can promise you that when those kids are through with you, there won't be enough to throw away. And,
I mean, it's probably right.
At least when it comes to Evelyn.
it's probably more specifically Fergus.
Well, yeah, I was going to say.
That's true, yeah.
I might want to, but not sure I have the easy capability.
Fergus has the
as much as
capability to do
you can
so.
just go
Pop. Yeah, exactly. But Krull just shakes his head and says, and see, that's where you're wrong, Till. Because as powerful as those kids are, they are kids. And that means they're going to make mistakes. They're going to make a lot of mistakes. They've already made some crucial ones. And when they are alone, separated, and defeated, that is when I will win. I admit, together you are a formidable force. But one by one, picked off from the herd, even the mightiest beast will fall. Until just like, leans back like I got nothing else to say and kind of like leans his head back against the metallic wall, and Krull just says, that of course doesn't mean that we're just going to let you sitting here. We are going to have some conversations, you and I, and they are not going to be pleasant ones. And that's when like a robot steps in, has like, a needle and other like obvious torture interrogation devices on it, and
little probe droid with
yeah.
and
And
give you your shot.
he just says, we're going to begin now, Till. You might want to start humming one of your operas. I've heard it helps. And then we just, see him and the robot like take a step forward, and then the door hisses, and we.
But does Till start humming his opera? But like a vile like expletive.
No, I think
opera?
if he does it in his mind, and we don't hear it, right? Maybe it's going through his mind, but
It's like the soundtrack.
right, yeah.
Maybe
I
Krull
probably
starts
Oh
humming
yeah,
it.
in
for
the
soundtrack.
soundtrack.
For the scene.
Oh,
I was gonna say in the
yeah.
soundtrack we probably hear at least a sting of an opera, right? But it's probably like that's what's going through Till's mind. It's not actually happening on in the actual show.
Is a story about something similar that happened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then the opera reaches its quick crescendo after we just hear like a sting of it, and we hard cut to black, and we come back up with the new theme song and the new intro, right? So if you guys haven't had a chance to check it out, I posted it in chat. It's This Time from the Ruby soundtrack. I thought it was pretty fitting. It's a little bit more it's like, desperate but confident of victory sort of vibe going on. So like we're gonna rise above this and actually figure it out. But
you're putting a lot of weight on our shoulders, Caleb, as the
I am. But
confidence,
as we usually
working
do,
everything out,
as we usually do at the beginning of these sequences, let's go ahead and get quick shots of characters and what they would be doing during this intro. So Connor, we see Connor Powers as Evelyn Leidner come up on the screen. What is Evelyn doing? To give you guys a quick a pastiche of things that would be in this intro. There's going to be probably like a secret facility, deep space facility sort of thing. There's going to be a desert. And those are probably the two backgrounds of whatever's going on. So you can choose where to set your character in whatever this
desert and what?
So we see either a deep space facility, or a desert planet.
Okay. I think. Oh, did you tell me to start or?
Yeah. We see Connor Powers as Evelyn
okay.
Leidner.
Oh yeah, you did. I think on the desert planet. Actually, no. I think on the space station we see her. We see Vigo walking in front of her, and we see her with teary eyes watching him ahead of her, with concern and worry. And on the desert planet, I think we see her suiting up in her giant space mech.
Nice. Yeah.
that just landed, and she jumps backward all anime style.
Yeah, the sand swirls around her.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then finger of death something.
Yeah, we see faceless, probably desert cloaked individuals or robots or whatever else. So it's unclear whether or not who exactly is fighting you, but that's usually how these intros go.
But when she's in the mech, Vigo is behind her, and she's protecting him.
Sure. Cool. And we see David Ludens as Ode Anger.
Yeah, so I think Ode is we probably see him in how the anime will always have a blank starry background, character floating in space somehow.
Yeah.
And he's reaching out towards two silhouettes of adult silhouettes.
Yeah.
But we obviously can't tell who they are at this point. And then because they always do that, their images turn into smoke and drift away, and you have no idea what that means because neither do I. And then and then his eyes glow yellow, and the lightning travels from his hand to his gun through his spinal cord up to his head, and he starts doing that weird afterimage vibration that he does when he uses his gun's special power. And it probably gets that filter that we use whenever he goes into a post-cognitive trance or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know what he would see in post-cognitive trance yet, but maybe that'll become clearer as we play. Maybe the intro will fill out with stuff.
Yeah, I think maybe the hints we see of it are a tropical island archipelago planet, and someone drinking some purple liquid while surrounded by natives.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, and then we see Jared Zellner as Fergus McGirnahale.
I'm in a coma, Carly.
You just get 7 different shots of him unconscious, and,
foaming at the mouth.
Oh my gosh!
He's foaming at the mouth of the dinner table. He's foaming at the mouth.
Is that really what it is, Jared?
I think he has to do something.
Okay, yeah.
Go to Carly, come back.
Do I have the option to not? Be in
Yes,
the
yeah,
coma?
yeah.
That's spoilers, guys.
Oh, well,
You mean
okay.
Fergus doesn't die?
I'm sure we're gonna
think
find.
I think he's in his mind palace, like
There you go.
sorting through his brain, like on the verge of waking up.
Yeah, and maybe we see Rick Astley and Evangelia like
Yeah.
suiting up next to you, like maybe you're you're preparing for some like fight.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Are they still in there, the others?
We don't see him in the intro sequence.
We see two shadowy figures that could be them, but is unconfirmed.
Sure.
Have you guys seen Jujutsu Kaisen? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a character. I won't be specific. There's a character in the intro that like is heavily in the intro to the song to the thing, and when he shows up, he's in like 2 episodes and then dies. Even though he's in like half the intro song, and so they totally fake you out. And when he said, "Do I get to be out of a coma?" I was like, "Yeah, we're just gonna have Fergus be in half of the intro, and then he's just gonna die 2 episodes."
He never comes out.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
And then we see this memorial in the intro for the rest of this show, for the rest of the season.
Anyway,
He
sorry.
was gonna get out, but he didn't. He died.
Yeah, then we see Carly Powers as Dylan Callery.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm thinking like, oh, we see her like trying to figure out her psychic ability more, but I don't know what that would look like because
Well, you're probably just like touching a wall, right?
Not a
And
very
like
visual thing.
concentrating.
yeah, drinking an iced coffee with the other hand.
Well, you probably take a drink of the iced coffee, go into a room, and then like put it down
Right.
to then
Yeah.
concentrate. Because iced coffee is I feel like distracting.
No, it helps her concentrate.
Oh, okay,
obviously.
okay. You see you drink it and
The
then
caffeine
power
in
up, your
power
eyes
source.
glow.
Yeah. Also, question I never thought of until now when I was trying to think of what this would look like. Because she has the ability to like put messages into things, and she could also like pick up messages, right?
So you're starting to figure out the like intricacies of it. I know you took your like psychic wild talent, which basically means you have, for all intents and purposes, you have a low form of telepathy. But yes, so
Okay.
yeah, there's definitely other things that Dylan can do with this, but
Do we know if she can pick up on her own messages that she leaves?
I think so. I don't think there's gonna be any reason you wouldn't.
Or is that something that okay.
Cool. Do we see you fighting in the desert planet or anything as well? I assume.
Probably, yeah. I don't even remember what weapons she's using right now.
I think she
But-
currently. Well, you lost your special like sword
the
shaped
non-lethal
stun baton.
sword. Yeah.
But you do have a regular stun baton and a regular sword.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay.
And apparently you have a laser pistol.
We
No, I
get,
think
like,
that's-
millions of
Probably not
credits.
very
What if we buy you a better sword? We did. Could have swore.
I don't
know.
think you did.
Huh.
No.
What did you spend all your
Wait.
money
Okay. Wait a
on?
second. Yeah. She has or maybe she didn't get it. I know she got a bunch of medical stuff.
Yeah.
I'm
with her
pretty
name.
sure the sword
I
she
think
bought
when
with like
we-
the millions of credits we have, I'm pretty sure she lost that. But I think she still has the stuff that we like originally got, and then like the upgraded stealth versions I got every.
So she doesn't have the stuff you originally got. She does have the
Oh.
stealth versions that are just a regular. It's basically a stealth stun
Right.
baton and a stealth sword.
Okay.
Because those are on the ship when she lost her other stuff. But if I remember correctly, Carly, didn't you get like a special sword that like wasn't like the Tempest Fugit sword or whatever that like, or is that just what Ode has?
I know we were talking about that thing that like cuts through space or whatever.
It was
Remember?
because there was like some sort of pre-tech thing that we were looking at that
Yeah.
like
Didn't she get like one of the are they artifacts? I don't
Yeah,
remember what
it
they're
was one
called.
of the abilities where they like cut through space, so you could make melee attacks from range, basically. But I remember thinking I was wrong about it. But I think you found it after I was pretty sure it wasn't.
I
in
know
there.
you have something like that. Terminus,
Yeah, that
Terminus
sounds
Est.
familiar.
Terminus
Yeah,
Est, I think, is what you
yeah.
have.
That sounds right.
Is it in
It's-
her item
I'm
list?
just trying to remember
So,
what that means.
as an instant action, at the start of a round, a wielder with the weapon in hand can nominate a visible target. For the rest of the round, they're treated as if they're adjacent and
Yeah.
engaged in melee combat with the target,
Yeah.
hindering ranged attacks, subjecting them to attacks, so on and so forth. The wielder is not subject to attacks by the target unless they actually are within range of the target's weapons. So basically, it's like it's advanced melee weaponry that employs spatial distortion technology. So it's like you swing in the air and you distort space so that your swing connects with them over space, like through space.
You melee fight
Right.
them from distance. Yeah.
Didn't I use that with Alex at one point? And it was like super great because
think you
she
might
could
have.
teleport, but I could do that.
Yeah. At the very
I think
least.
that's when I use it.
No, because you didn't actually fight Alex. When you had that, you fought Alex on the
Right,
spaceship, and you bought it after the fact. So I think you haven't been able to use it on Alex.
Okay.
Or you
What
did,
did
you
you
didn't.
say it was called?
It is Terminus Est.
Okay.
And does she have like? I assume you upgraded the sword too, right? I mean, we had so much money. There isn't.
Well, I think that's what she did. That's her new sword. Is like the
Right, but you
Terminus
can
Est
also
sword.
make it like plus to hit and plus damage and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, like you can customize it, which gives it a +1. I mean, like guns are different options, so I don't know what the melee versions are. But guns, you can do auto targeting.
Do you know where like
custom and-
those mods are?
Ugh. Like,
Because I don't want to spend too much time on it, but it would be nice to know. Oh, here we
Yeah.
go. The sample mods, like,
I think so. Yeah,
oh yeah, customized.
yeah,
When used by the person, they get a +1 to hit with the weapon, or +1.
yeah.
Cost 1,000 credits, so you could definitely do that.
Yeah, I basically just bought, like for mine, I bought the different ones until I got +3, and then I bought different stuff until I got +3 damage too. Or no, the artifact. Actually, the artifact weapons automatically have plus damage and hit bonuses. So I just bought more bonuses until they're.
Oh yeah, all
+3.
Terminus Est weapons have +2 bonus to hit and damage rolls. So we can
Yeah,
just
so
say if you
basically-
spend 1,000 more credits,
Yeah.
you get the +3. Is the idea?
Yeah, and then there's probably a plus damage thing too, because there are for guns. And then
Okay,
you'd have
is that
+2.
already on my character sheet?
I don't think
somewhere,
it
or do I need
is.
to add that in?
I'll edit it for you real quick.
Okay.
And
front of the bathroom.
yeah, go ahead. And we'll make sure that
Yeah,
you have
we
that.
essentially right now currently have infinite credits, so go hog wild. Before Caleb takes them away.
Oh man, we haven't been upgrading your attack bonus on here.
Caleb. you-
Oh, no. It automatically adds your attack bonus, and then this would be the extra thing. Here we go.
Hmm.
Yeah. And we'll check that real quick. I'll make you have a +15 with it.
Holy
That seems
cow.
correct.
Caleb, quick question. What is
Mm-hmm.
a physical attack? What does that constitute?
Physical attack is like actually punching someone, I think.
And does that melee weapons as well?
I don't know. Where are you finding this terminology?
And in a psychic ability.
I assume physical attack is like a melee. So punching or swords, that actually seems correct. If that's the way
Okay.
it's being framed, that is just not a ranged weapon, basically. You can't do it.
No.
That seems like what it would be.
What
to
if
me.
it's a physical weapon that's ranged?
That's no. You're actually physically touching someone with it.
Yeah, but what if it's physically touching through space and time?
Well, it would be if you're using Dylan's weapon.
Okay, so Dylan's weapon would still be considered a physical attack.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay,
But
for
not
no
ranged
for no
weapons.
no reason whatsoever.
Sure. Cool. So let's go ahead and cut to I guess to Evelyn first. Since David's not here currently. I guess real quick, let's just talk. Is there anything that needs I know that Fergus needs to like figure out stuff with his coma. As like before he can do anything. Would there be anything else going on? Oh, you know what? This is what we start with, Connor. So you're on the frigate. the frigate that you bought for your army. You're in a room
No, I don't
somewhere.
think. Oh no, I did. Yeah, we
Yeah.
got rid of the capital ship. I forgot.
Exactly.
This is a frigate we bought.
Yeah, they have like a heavy frigate. And you're traveling through space. And you're in some room somewhere, probably sitting.
Do we want to go through goals?
No, so goals would be. Remember, we're doing party goal now, just like a party quest, and that's everything.
I made up goals. And
well, so I think everyone's party quest is to get to the secret facility, right?
which is where Till is.
No, which is where
Ood's parents are.
Ood's
right?
parents are that are researching the advanced MES stuff, which they can use to help Vigo.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
So that's just what everybody has right now.
Okay.
So the first thing we see, Evelyn, Jenkins is yelling at you. Would you be sitting, standing? Where are you on the frigate when he's like chewing you out for leaving? Yeah, that's what I figured. So
yeah.
You're standing in some. Well, you decide where in the ship are you standing when Jenkins is yelling at you. What's the environment we see? Are you like on the bridge of the ship in like a lounge area in your quarters?
I think on the bridge of the ship. I think she is.
Yeah. So we see.
You know what? She's not. I think that she has like almost completely forgotten that she's supposed to like have like a present face and like be on the capital ship and like in the bridge, like ready to take orders. I think people started coming to her with like updates and stuff like that. And she was just like so overwhelmed because she's like, Vigo is back, but he doesn't remember me. Vigo is back, but he doesn't remember me.
Yeah. And
is probably just like in her private quarters.
Sure.
Or in wherever Vigo is staying. Or like, okay, I'm assuming he would be like maybe in the medical wing or something like that. Like
it's not like
putting tests on him.
Exactly. It's not like he's in like a coma or anything himself. He's just confused. So he's just like sitting, sitting in one corner of this room. I don't know if
like a medical room or like a
medical room.
One.
Yeah,
okay.
and whatever person who would be in your revolutionary gang probably who knows medical stuff is looking him over.
Yeah.
They're running some tests and things. There's a robot in the corner who's also helping.
Okay, yeah.
And
this is probably the third time I've told her to run these tests or
probably,
whatever.
Yeah. But we see probably the rest of Vigo's crew at various places in this room. So we see like Ada kind of curled up on a seat, kind of with her hands like hugging her knees. We see Kiana, kind of perched on some other seat, and then Lucy's in the corner, kind of like leaning against the wall. Jenkins, though, is like pointing his robotic artificial hand in your face and just yelling at you. Right?
Okay, so I remember the other two. I remember Ada is Carly's character. I remember Kiana is David's character, and Lucy
is the NPC pilot character that was like piloting the ship.
Right. And he's a guy, right?
Yeah, he's a guy. Yeah, it's Luciano is his name. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so Jenkins is yelling at me. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jenkins is yelling at you. So big robot dude with like a weird like artificial porcelain face, and he just says,
and she's not looking at Jenkins. She's looking at Vigo in the like through the observation. I'm assuming one-way window or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I think, that's probably what it is. Yeah, you're right. So he's yelling at you, just saying, "What were you thinking? That was my brother you left to die back there, Evelyn."
She pays him no mind.
Are you listening to me?
How recent, like how soon after... Like, did we just get on the frigate basically? And this is
pretty much, yeah. This would have had to been Jenkins. Like, would have had no moment except for until now to actually let loose on you, and so this is him immediately doing it as soon as he can. So that's it then. You're just a monster. I see.
She pays him one glance and says, but then looks back to Vigo and says, "That was your brother, huh, Fergus?"
Yes.
And she turns to him and gets like really in close to his robotic face or whatever. I'm assuming she has to look up because Jenkins is like a big massive
huge,
robot, right? Okay, yeah. And she just says, I cared about Fergus just as much as you did.
What?
No, I want to make a roll there. I want to make a roll.
You're going to have to give more of an argument than that to actually make the roll. But at first, his first initial reaction is just like, you have got to be kidding me.
I care about Fergus just as much as you do. And I hope so bad that he is still alive. But right now, the man in that room, your leader, he's more important to me and should be to you. Stand down, Jenkins. You're not in charge here. I am. And when we get the chance to rescue Fergus, I'll put my life on the line. Can you say the same?
That sounds like a lead role, right?
Yeah.
You're just trying to take charge.
Yep. I'm the general on the ship. I'm putting him in his place. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, so go ahead and make a lead.
Real quick, I should only have one 3d6 skill as a partial expert.
That seems correct. Yeah.
Okay.
You have the specialist.
And
level 1. Yeah.
The modifier for lead is
just your
up
skill
to
points.
Interpretation.
Oh
no. Like, if I click to roll it, is it?
I think it's gonna be.
If this rolls, don't worry about it. Okay, no.
The status
So modifier is different, and then it goes to attribute.
Yeah. So modifier is like if you get an extra bonus for anything. I don't think you are.
Yeah.
No. This is charisma. Like you have to. It has to be force of personality here that is doing it.
Okay.
In terms of difficulty, it's gonna be pretty high. So what is your intent with this role exactly?
I mean, I want him to stand down and treat me as the leader, right? I mean, I want him to understand that I care about Fergus, and he doesn't have to agree with me, but we're on my frigate.
Yeah.
and you're talking to the captain of the ship. And so I don't really need him to like me at all. I just want him to stand down.
Yeah, I think
let me go ahead.
I was gonna say a 10 is gonna give you very temporary standing down. A 12 is gonna give you more of a permanent standing down.
Okay.
Those are gonna be the kind of levels here.
And we don't use, there's not like fate points in the system, right? Like, there's no like expenditure that I can put into this.
No, it's literally just you roll it and that's it.
Okay. All right.
9. So not even good enough to do.
Darn it.
Yeah. So you're on the edge. You see him like think about this, right? Like and just be like, but he's taken aback by how forceful your personality actually is and how clear and demanding you are. And he seems to like just like blink and be like, almost he's ready to fall into that soldier role. he's ready to fall into that soldier role. But then he like blinks again and shakes his head and he says, Don't try to play soldier with me, Evelyn. You are not in charge here. If anyone is, I am.
I my eyebrows raised. Like I'm not intimidated at all. My eyebrows raised, and I like look to the other members of the crew, just silently, just like he's the leader, really. Like
honestly, the rest of them, the rest of them are gonna kind of look at you and him, and it seems like they're just like, yeah, we never really thought about it, but I guess like
they're probably if nothing else,
like shrug, right? Like okay, yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess I turn back to him. Did he say anything else?
No, he's just like staring iron at you. There's a moment that passes, but I think he does probably actually say, you did not have the authority to make that sort of call. We were not on a mission. We were just living. We were rescuing Vigo.
You were rescuing Vigo? Oh, really? Well, it seems like you came in on the tail end of that, didn't you?
He kind of clenches his robotic hand as if he's imagining squeezing your neck. But he lowers it and he says, "You're a kid, Evelyn. And so I'm not going to throw, and a woman at that, so I'm not going to throw you against the wall like I would a normal soldier who talks back to me."
I want to fight him.
Dude, you're going to get your butt kicked.
No, but he's like a level 3 character.
I haven't leveled them up yet, but they would at least be level 6 by now.
Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, yeah, I was like, I'm just going to heckin' throw him on his butt.
You look at his character sheet, you're like, oh, never mind, you're in charge. Bye.
No, not that he's in charge, but
yeah, I'm kidding.
You should let me level him up, and I'll perfectly tailor him to fight Connor.
Go ahead. Yeah. You should have access to the character sheet, Jared. So if you want to do that in the background,
I mean,
go
ahead. What else is? Go ahead.
Yeah. So he just says, so I won't throw you against the wall like I would another soldier who talks back to me. But mark my words. If you ever do something like that again, and if God forbid you just sentenced Fergus to death.
She visibly winces at that. She can't hold that back. She visibly winces.
Yeah. You will.
But retains her composure immediately.
Yeah. He says, "You will wish that you had never met me." And then he just turns away and walks out. And all of his crew are just looking at you like, yeah, you kind of deserved that.
I turn and look at the rest of them and I say, "Anybody else?"
Lucy shrugs and he says, "I don't think I could have said it better than he did. That was cold." And then he, I think, also just turns and walks out.
She glances back to the rest of them like, one by one, let's do it. Go ahead.
No, I mean, it's just Kiana and Ada at this point, and they just both like give you a glance and then just look back at Vigo.
Good to know you guys care more about him than you do about your egos. And she turns back to the window watching Vigo.
And I think Ada signs something vulgar to you behind your back, but says nothing. It probably to Kiana, right? Because she's like actually still looking, and Kiana just like, yeah, and then like turns back, and we just see the three of you just like looking through the window. Were you going to try to say anything else to Vigo at this point, or is this just like we're waiting, and the frigate is on its way through space?
I'm not sure if she is emotionally prepared to try talking to Vigo again, because I'm sure that she's like, he doesn't remember, and now she's put up this wall of like distance. I want you in the medical room. They're gonna fix you, and then you can come talk to me again. Yeah. But not until you give me a big hug and like treat me like I'm the long lost love that you've been looking for your whole life. Like she is too emotionally walled right now to do anything else.
Yeah.
Cool. So can I also say though that can I have one of my tech people walk in, and can I have them give me a report and have them make a roll or whatever? I sent one of my people to do a program roll to see to hack into the hospital cameras to see if Fergus did survive.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely a roll. Let's see.
Do you want me to make a lead roll, or did we already decide? Like, I can't remember. This has been a literal season, so like I don't remember who was our like tech person or whatever, like what their stats are.
I don't think we ever came up with someone.
What they have.
I don't think we ever came up with someone. So let me just real quick. I'm just gonna see if there's might be a stat block here that I can quick use for it. Yeah, here we go. Skilled professional. Cool. So I'm just gonna make a roll for him, and we'll see. I think it's gonna be an ob. Difficulty 10. I mean, It is
It
a
was the
really
highest
high
class
exactly.
thing. Yeah.
And it was definitely like their system has been compromised by everything that happened. So it might be, it's going to be just a 10 instead. But they were level 3, David, before. So, but yeah. So yeah, I mean, honestly, if any of you would like to level them up while you're not doing a scene, the character sheets are there, and you can.
Yeah,
you
I'm
feel
too
free to do that.
stupid to do that.
That's totally fine. I can also do it after in between.
Too
sessions,
stupid right
so.
now, or just in general?
Come talk to me after I've slept.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and make a program roll for this dude, and it needs to be a 10 or higher. Wow, there's so many things. Okay, so
Goodness gracious, can I use? Can I expend effort? Can I commit effort?
possibly, yeah. What do you have available to you? I mean, I think it's the same day.
No, I was worried you were gonna say
No,
that.
it has to be the same day, right? Like this is you literally just getting out of the system.
I mean, but it would have taken us a long time to get back to the frigate and like
not
go
more.
into space,
But that's the
right?
thing. You get them back when you rest, Connor. It doesn't. So you haven't had sleep since then. Is my main point. So yeah, you have the torch if you want to do that.
I already survived that once. What is that supposed to be?
It's, health dice.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
I'll cut all this out in the podcast version so that no one ever knew. Yeah, exactly. Ignore the man behind the curtain. That was a bad roll. Yeah, if you want a torch, you can do so. Otherwise,
no, that's fine. So I'm assuming whoever this is just comes in and says,
yeah, I think it's like basically it's not like he can't get access to it. He's like, the files have been corrupted. I'm sorry, General Leitner. Whatever happened there, it did a number on the system.
Is it like do Ada and Kiana realize what is happening?
If they do that, they don't make any move or say anything.
Right. I kind of wanted it to be like I was hoping that they would succeed and I would be able to turn to them and be like, he's alive, by the way. But now I think I'm just kind of like,
yep,
darn it, that didn't work out well.
So you were hoping that you would get round apologies from everyone.
Well, no, I just from these two. I wanted these two to be able to trust me, but now I'm like,
yeah,
all right.
Yeah, I mean, if they are thinking anything, they're thinking, yeah, she's trying to play God. She was trying to play God with this whole situation, and she failed. So
you just wait. You just wait.
Fergus will become more powerful than you can ever imagine.
That's right.
But yeah, I think we just like cut from that scene there. And I think we see Ziva. Ziva's on the Void Grace, right? Like in her seat at the kitchen table, in the kitchen of the Void's Grace. And she has a similar like vibe to Ada in the scene that we just saw Ada in, right? She has her knees up to her chest and she's kind of like just hugging them to her body. And she's sitting in like the corner booth, right, of this kitchen table. Where is the kitchen here? Man, I need to find this. Yeah, here. This booth over here. And I assume Odin and Dylan are probably in the room too. You guys can be doing whatever you would like to be doing, but this is basically like Ziva's obviously, you've basically just told her everything that happened. Like Till got captured and Fergus is in a coma, and she's just like sitting on the booth, like hugging her knees, like obviously distressed. Are we gonna go get Till?
I think Dylan just says, not yet, but we will.
But what if they do something bad to him, Dylan?
Till can hold his own.
Make a talk roll with charisma there. Right. This is just generally trying to do soothing platitudes on the girl to make sure she's gonna be able to put a brave face on it.
What attribute? Oh yeah, charisma.
Charisma, yeah.
9.
9 is pretty good. I mean, we're used to Fergus level rolls, so I think 9's probably actually good enough in this instance.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like 14 on the meter is like the godlike, and
Right.
we've seen Fergus get a 16, so that started to skew our perspective as to how difficult things are in this world. But yeah, so I think 9 is totally fine. She puts on her little brave face and she kind of nods and she does the anime nod, like grunt, like and she says, "So, what are we doing now?"
Dylan just looks at Ode.
And Fergus is unconscious, right?
Yeah.
Where is he at?
I assume just in his room, probably, or just on his bed.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, he looks kind of distracted and he sort of looks up like he realizes you've been talking. He's like, "Oh, we got to get Fergus somewhere he can." Yeah. I don't know if he's okay. We got to find someone who can find out for us and help him if he's not.
Yeah. So she just nods. She says, "Well, I'll do everything I can to help you guys, okay? I just want everyone to be okay again." And then she just pauses for a while. And she looks up and she says, "Where's Evelyn?"
I don't know if we're going to... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Do we know where Evelyn is headed?
No, but you know that she left Fergus to die.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think we're going to see Evelyn again, Tifa.
That doesn't make any sense.
I think, Dylan interjects and just says, at least not anytime soon.
Evelyn said that Evelyn's going to come back. That doesn't make any sense. Evelyn's going to come back.
Yeah, it's Fred Ziva. You know who I am. You know what's up. Come on.
She promised that she
abandons his friends.
Evelyn says what she needed to say. It's how she is. And now she's gone. And I don't think we're going to see her again.
But she promised me that she would teach me how to play her game. I can only do the tutorial. And she just starts crying.
Oh.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I think Ode stands up and he's like, "She left Fergus to die on the ground in the middle of some destroyed, what was it, a lab? Destroyed lab. If she cared about us, she'd still be here."
No, it's not true. Oh, you're wrong, Ode.
I saw it happen with my own eyes. You can ask Fergus if he survives whatever she left him to.
I hate you. And she just runs off.
Yeah.
I think Dylan glares at Ode.
Yeah, I think he just kind of like huffs and like in frustration and goes towards his room, which is super nice, by the way. I bought luxury accommodations. So. Like he goes in and we see him go into his room, and I have one of those soda fountains that are like at a soda place or like a restaurant where it's just like one dispenser, but it has a screen and you can pick like way too many flavors. And he just starts randomly punching through them, like combining flavors.
So as a note, you and Fergus do share a room. So you're doing this while Fergus is in a coma on the bed next to you.
Did you just throw me in my bed for it?
I mean,
or my pillow for it?
I don't know if the luxury accommodations changed anything about the room, but yeah, that would be kind of weird. I mean, maybe he's in the medical. I feel like he should probably be under surveillance.
I don't know. Is there a medical room in this?
I don't
Ship?
remember.
I don't think there
Did we
is.
prioritize our health over a soda fountain?
Wait, we bought a bunch of upgrades for the ship. Wasn't one of them
I
like
mean, to be
medical
fair,
something?
we
Let's
usually
take a
have
look. I have them
Fergus
on here.
conscious
Yeah.
and able to heal us. So
Yeah, that's.
I think we
So-
just
but we didn't
assumed
always
that I
have
wouldn't
that.
die.
We have a research lab, but I don't think we have a med bay.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the consensus was we could spend other things because I can just heal it.
Right, that was the idea, right? Is that Fergus was
Yeah.
would be the med bay.
Mhm.
Well, is it acceptable that as having I don't know how expensive the luxury suite was, but I assumed that involved at least some restructuring of the room. Can it have been a larger room now, or like separate rooms?
I don't know where you get the space from if you didn't take it from the cargo bay, which you didn't. So I don't think
I don't
any
remember.
space has been added to any of these rooms. Like you've obviously tricked them out, but I don't think they're any bigger than they were.
I don't know. I think the modules take up space. I don't remember.
Right, but you'd be replacing them with existing modules. You're not actually opening up any cargo
did we-
space.
Did we have all of the space on our ship filled?
Yes, it's filled, and most of it was filled with cargo space. So if you're taking away from anything, it's the cargo space, which I don't think you did.
Okay, well that's fine. Then I mean, yeah, maybe he's just in a. I don't know. I guess
Pillow fort.
Sure.
You just have them
Why not?
cordoned off with a blanket, right? Like,
yeah.
so you can't look at them. You don't look at them while you're pouring your soda.
Yeah, I have like stuff pushed up next to him, so if the ship jostles, he won't fall out of the bed.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably something you could use on the bed itself to fasten him.
Yeah,
it's
that's probably
sci-fi
true.
stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sure each of the beds can act as a med bed in like a general capacity.
Yeah. So then, yeah, I think if that's the case, he, pours himself a cup of like 7 different flavors of things that he's just been punching the machine the whole time. And then he's like slumps down on his bed and looks over at where Fergus is.
Yeah. And that's, of course, where we zoom in to Fergus's mind and see.
Going through his nose.
Yeah. Or we just cut and Fergus is in his mindscape. Fergus, I think this is you coming awake in your mindscape, right? So you've also been unconscious in your mindscape, but now you've awoken in your mind. Where are you? What do we see? You have control over the mindscape, so up to you.
I think my physical, whatever, mental manifestation of myself is like resting, like in Evangelia's like lap, kind of, and she's just,
Okay.
Not like a romantic thing, but like a motherly.
Right. I know. I just I didn't expect it.
Yeah. And she's like, that sucked.
Yeah. All right. Yes, I was wondering if you were ever going to wake up.
Are they still in here? Did we win? What happened?
Ode killed them.
Like killed them?
As far as I can tell, their nanites are gone. Or at least I can't sense them anymore, so maybe they're still there, but not... Maybe they've gone inert somehow.
Can I do like a brain scan of myself?
Yeah, make a telepathy check.
Alrighty. Attribute intelligence?
Yeah.
Okay.
12's pretty good. Yeah, you can't sense them anymore, certainly. Obviously Rick Astley and Evangelia are still there just fine.
Mhm.
But there's something that feels wrong, and Evangelia just kind of like explains it to you as your mind is processing it too. And she says, there was something wrong about what they were. Something corrupted. I don't know how to explain it or why they were the way that they were, but it was almost as if their entire existence was to be a trap, a bomb for you.
Well, they said they, or I can't. I gotta up the octave. It's like They said that they were planning for this or something when they were
Yes.
screaming.
I think that's an underestimation of exactly what was going on there. When in the fleeting glimpses I had of their minds, it was as if the only thing that existed in their minds was this plan. Was them counting on your greed to take their nanites and destroy yourself.
What? How did they know all this before? He's a crap, what's it called? He's a precog. Gosh darn it.
He is a precog, but there's something else going on here, Fergus, something that I don't understand, and I've seen a lot.
Well, I'm sure the three of us together will be able to figure it out. If
Yeah.
I'm not dead, that is.
And Rick Astley in the corner, who's kind of been like dark brooding, like, I'm sorry this happened to you sort of vibe, you know, like looking at, and then he looks up and he says,
never gonna give you up.
Well, of course, yeah.
I'm pretty sure we've only talked with a song.
Well, you know what I just did is I opened up the lyrics for that song, and I'm gonna have it open, and he will only be able to say lyrics from this song. So,
oh, that's fantastic.
But yeah, I think he just says, "Never gonna let you down."
And from my laid down position, I just do the little heart pound to him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, can I wake up now, or am I still dying?
And in terms of like the actual rules of stars with a number, there's no reason you couldn't come back up right now.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not asking you. I was asking.
Yeah.
I'm fine with staying unconscious until we get to the place.
I'm trying to figure out what is the best narrative move here.
Because Fergus wakes up, he's real mad at Evelyn. And
if Fergus wakes up, would he change the plan at all to go to this new place?
I mean, he might try to, like, if he realizes Till's gone, he might try to just go get Till. Because
okay, let's keep you in unconscious then until we actually get there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I think the last thing we see though, Fergus, is you ask Evangelia that, and she says, "I think you'll be fine, Fergus, but your mind still needs to heal. For now, I think it would be better if you went back to sleep. I'll wake you when it's time."
Fergus slowly drifts off.
Yeah. And then we see Evangelia and Rick give each other a glance, and the last thing we see from your mindscape is Rick just like looks up at her and then just says, "Inside, we both know what's been going on. We know the game, and we're going to play it." And Evangelia just like bites her lip. She says, "I don't exactly know how to phrase it to him yet. Give me time." And Rick just nods. And we just cut away.
Who was saying that last part? Evangelion was saying that to?
Evangelia was saying it to Rick.
To Rick, okay.
I'm going to die, aren't I?
So so the one other loose end before we get there is, I mean, I guess really the only thing I have to say here is, would Oder Dylan talk to the lady who has come with you?
Oh yeah.
I need. She's in her own room or something at this point, right? She probably took Till's bed up in the front. Or no, she's probably sleeping where Evelyn was sleeping, probably. I don't remember her name. Let me see if I can. I know I wrote it in the chat.
The MES girl.
Yeah.
That had the weird disease.
It was like something Sladkovic or something. It's like a East European name. Yeah, it was
Just call her Mess for now.
Tamara Sladkova. Or Tamara, I don't know how you pronounce that exactly in Eastern European lingo stuff.
Accent.
Yeah, whatever the term is there.
Lingo.
Yeah, what do you guys think? Is it Tamara?
I think Tamara is cooler than Tamara.
I think it was Tamara, though.
That's fine.
Tamara
I don't
Sladkova.
really care.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
No.
Yeah, either way. If basically my question is just, would you want to have any conversation with her other than we're on our way, we're gonna get you the help you need?
I mean, Dylan doesn't have a particular reason to.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I mean, she's dealing with MES, right? So maybe
Mhm.
she'll talk to her about just like, do you have any idea how I could use my abilities?
Yeah, so we just see her. I mean, you probably like walked after Ziva, Dylan, right? And
Yeah.
right? You follow Ziva into the girls' room, right? And you see Ziva just like under the covers, like angrily, like not wanting to talk to anyone. And so you look to the side and you see Tamara just like awkwardly sitting on the bed, kind of staring off into nothing. Yeah, if you walk up to her or stare at her long enough, she like blinks and looks at you. She says, "Yes."
Tamara, remind me of her condition exactly.
So as far as you guys heard, basically, I think she had telepathy as her ability as well. But it was like it was starting to go crazy, so that she was like hearing everyone's thoughts all the time, and it was starting to like send her into depression and madness.
That sucks.
Yeah.
This was the weird psychic girl, or this
Yeah.
is Ziva?
No, this is the weird psychic girl.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
like, what?
No, Ziva's not a psychic. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm
Anyway.
trying to think of like,
she's not.
how to ask her this without being like
Offensive.
yeah. Because I'm
You just started by saying, "I don't
asking-
mean to be offensive," and then whatever you say is fine.
Well, I'm literally like wanting to ask her like, oh, help me do this thing that you were not able to do.
Right, yeah. Is your thing
Or a thing
contagious?
you
Can I
didn't
get
want
it?
to do.
Yeah. Do you want to switch places?
Yeah.
Well, was there like her meds just weren't working or something? Like what was
Yeah,
the
basically it
reason
was like
why
she was
you couldn't
taking regular MES, and it was MES medications. And it was like she had never been a super powerful telepathy psychic before, right? It was just like she maybe used it for minor things here and there to help because she was like, so this gal is like used to be an Imperium officer, or Imperium bureaucrat of some sort. I think technically still is. You know, that's probably why she was getting the treatment at the high-tech facility. But she basically was like, suddenly she was like super good at it, and there's probably a moment there where she was like really helpful to the Imperium because suddenly she was like a really good telepath. But then it started going too far, and the MES wasn't keeping it under control. Yeah, so MES medication is basically supposed to keep it in check. It's not supposed to like nullify it or anything. It's just like if you don't take MES medication, you go insane because the psychic stuff is just going to destroy your brain. Basically, she's taken all the MES medication she can. She's probably overdosing at this point, but it's still not doing anything. Her brain is just expanding. And it will get to the point, if history is to be believed, that where she will go crazy and kill everyone around her before popping her own head, probably.
We're taking her with us.
Yes, you're going very fast and taking her with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe this isn't a good idea to ask her. Like,
Yeah, maybe you just think twice. You're just like,
how to go about this. Also, have we as a team, talked at all about getting Ode and Dylan on MES medication?
They've been on it the whole time.
We have? Okay.
It's just assumed. Yeah, I know. Looking at them, it's not necessarily clear that they are taking it. But in theory, all psychics are most of the time mandated by whatever planetary government they're a part of to have to take MES medication.
Okay.
So they've been taking it the whole time.
Wait, who do you think that I asked about?
Evelyn and Fergus?
No, I asked about me and Ode.
Oh. That's a good question.
Yeah, I feel like we asked that at some point. I don't remember.
I assume by this point you would have been
Must
taking
be.
it. Yeah. Once you figured out that was
you were psychic for a long time.
I think by the time season 2 rolled around, you were taking MES medication regularly.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Dylan, you know that if you just stop taking MES medication, actually your mind will probably expand faster.
Yikes. Yeah, I don't know if I can come up with a good way to talk to this lady.
That's fine.
So
I mean,
why
honestly,
not?
makes sense, right? Like you just think
Yeah.
twice about it. You're like, could I? No, I don't want my brain to explode. Okay.
I mean, she doesn't consider going off the medication, but
Right.
she was wanting to get insight from this lady on like how to control her powers, but this lady's not going to have any advice on that front. So
Sure. Yep. Makes sense to me. Cool. So, the sector you guys are going, system you guys are going to is 605, Lucretia. And the planet, or I guess the facility floating above a planet, or wherever it is. Let me actually check. I don't actually remember. It's in this system though. Let's take a look. Boop-doo. So Lucretia isn't under the control of any of the factions in the game. It's kind of like an isolated sector, isolated system. The closest though, so this triangle over here, as a reminder, is where the Imperium is in control of. So it's definitely closer to Imperium space. But as of yet has not been conquered. Probably primarily because there's not a whole lot of interest in the system. There are 2 planets, Demetes and Schemus. Both of them are basically like the people haven't gotten back to TL4 technology yet. Or maybe there is one. I guess Schemus has TL4 technology, but they're all cannibals. They're ritual cannibals now. And so no one wants to really talk to them or go near their planet. Demetes is TL3 and it's basically just abandoned at this point. It used to be a colony long ago when the sectors were all still intact. But right now it's just kind of like an abandoned desert wasteland planet. And floating above it is a space station known as Darwin 7. A research station back from before that's stayed in operation. And this is the place where when Kiana helped Ode's parents sneak away and go to a secret facility. This is where she sent them. I don't really know where how Kiana knew about this place. For whatever reason she did. Or she paid
connected 0, so maybe I know somebody.
Yeah, or she just paid enough money to know someone, you know.
Yeah.
To get the information. But yeah, Darwin 7 is the name of the space station. It's floating above the planet. It used to be like some sort of secret research station way back when. And it was abandoned for quite some time before being rediscovered. And then right now that's where Ode's parents are. As far as Ode and Kiana know, they're the only people who live there currently. Right? Ode's parents and whoever they're working on currently to figure out the MES stuff. But so both Kiana and Ode. Wait, does Ode know where? Ode knows where they are, right? He must. Yeah, because you sent them the link. You must
I know
know
where
enough.
it's supposed to be. So I don't know if that's where they are or not. But.
It's where Kiana knows they are. So
Okay, yeah.
You are at the very least. I'm not going to confirm or deny whether or not they're actually there right now, because who knows.
Right, yeah.
But that is the place. You're both headed to Darwin 7. So the Void's Grace and the frigate that Evelyn bought. Which, by the way, what do you want to name that frigate, Evelyn? What's your new army's frigate name?
One of my people named it.
Sounds good.
This is frigate number 1. If I'm naming it.
No, it's obviously Control 1. It's your control group.
I think it's going to be called
fantastic.
I think it's going to be called the Artemis.
Okay.
Nice.
And I think that's because
I'm Athena.
Yeah, it's part of the Greek pantheon, right? Again, right? And Electra, the leader of the Flamehearts, has kind of started viewing
You mean the Fiascos?
Yeah, the Fiascos. What did I say?
Flamehearts.
Oh, okay. I you know what? I think the Flamehearts are one of them.
Are those two different organizations?
You had 3 different groups of revolutionaries. It was
they're all Fiascos, but they're like sectioned in different ways.
Well,
right?
Yeah, I probably at this point they don't even call themselves Fiascos. They probably just like
okay,
some other new name or whatever.
They're Leidners.
Yeah, it used to be the Fiascos, the Flamehearts, and the Fixers.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yes, the Artemis and the Void's Grace start getting into system. The issue is neither Evelyn nor Ode have access to someone with as high spacefaring stuff as Till. So I think we're gonna have to make a roll here to jump successfully. I think you both have high enough drives that you can jump. How difficult it is to jump 3 hexes?
Or is it pilot or drive?
Oh, it's pilot.
Okay. Oh yeah, there's a drive, is there? Okay.
Yeah, it's just pilot for everything, I think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna double check what your guys' nav computer or whatever it's called, spike drive would have access to in terms of how far it can move. So spike drives. Here we go. The spike drill rating. So let's see, drive. The transit time is 6 days per hex travel divided by the spike drill rating. Yeah, you guys would at least have a spike drill rating of 2 for each of your ships. I don't remember exactly what they are, but I'll look it up for next time. So you can make the jump in one jump. Base difficulty for a spike drill is 7. I think that actually goes down to 5 because... Oh, no. Yeah, it's going to be exactly 7, I think. Oh, wait, here we go. Drills distance per full 2 hexes. So 8. Okay. If you guys are taking the appropriate amount of time, it's going to be a difficulty 8 pilot to make the spike drill correctly. So, Evelyn, you have a person to do this for you. So I'll just have...
I'm making a roll separately to get to the same place. Is that kind of the situation?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a roll for like whatever NPC pilot character you have at your disposal, to make the drill.
Oh, you don't want me to roll, and well, the other characters.
Pilot is the skill that's being rolled. So I'm assuming you don't have that.
No. No, I do now. Actually, I have a +1 in it now.
Okay. Or well, I mean, the NPC you would have working for you would have a +2. So.
Oh, okay, then that's fine. So.
Yeah, I figured. Though you could make a roll to help him.
Will be the
I think 7. If you get a 7 or higher, you'll give him a +1.
Can I fork in intelligence because I'm just assisting them with knowledge rather than like physically
you
grabbing
can
the
make
wheel
the
or whatever?
attribute you roll intelligence, yes, but you're not forking it.
No, that's what I meant. That's what I meant to. I meant to say that explicitly, and I said knowledge for some
Got it.
reason. I don't know
Sounds
why.
There you go.
Woo.
You could have made the drill yourself. But yeah, you give him a +1.
Please don't fail.
And he fails miserably.
Oh my
Double
goodness.
ones. Double
Wait, no, hold up. Are we going to rest first before this happens? Just a day later?
Sure,
or are
you
we
can.
just
You
going
can be
there
it.
right now?
Well, I don't know. It's up to you, Evelyn. Well, I guess it's up to Jenkins.
Yeah, would Evelyn oh yeah.
I guess it's up to Jenkins. I don't really know what he would do. I'm gonna make a luck save, Evelyn, to see what Jenkins decides to do. If you succeed the luck save, then he waits a day and you can rest. I can't hear you if you're saying something.
I'm making Mickey called me. I'm making a luck save to see if we rested first.
Yeah. Okay, this
Is
is up to Jenkins, right? This is like whether or not Jenkins decides that you guys will wait or not, because he's in charge.
Wait, well, he's not in charge of my frigate. No, he's in charge of his little band of believers, but
yeah,
temporarily only. He's not in
give-
charge of my frigate. If he tries to make a
Yes,
command, I would have my
that's-
soldiers attack him.
That's
Like,
probably true. Yeah.
But didn't we give? We're talking about the people who we gave the
No,
frigate to.
we're talking about Jenkins right now.
Oh, Jink. Okay.
Yeah, you're probably right. I guess it's up to you then, Evelyn.
I mean, I want to have rested for just like character purposes, that I'm like mentally
But it really-
exhausted. But
I feel like Evelyn would just push through.
I don't know. I'll be right back.
All right, well, they crash into the sun.
Yeah, I guess double
GG,
fives.
boys.
Let me look up and if
David,
we
you wanna
actually
roll
do
your
have
pilot roll now.
No.
It's either you or Carly.
Yeah, I'll make my video game roll.
I'm dead.
Right, I do it.
to.
Oh dang!
Kidding, that's fake. It's not real.
You wish it was though.
Okay,
I don't
so
have
what?
that. Let's go.
So up to you. Are you actually getting there in a decent amount of time, or are you actually waiting
Okay,
around?
I think the only reason I would is if I would go and rest would be if like somebody from my team noticed how like stressed out I was and like bleeding from my nose from burning or whatever, or torching, whatever it's called. So if that happened, it genuinely is up to you, Caleb, in terms of like the characters I'm talking to, or
So I just actually looked something up. To get to the edge of the system, it's going to take at least 48 hours anyway. So
Oh,
I
goodness
just
gracious.
realized, yeah, it's not going to matter because you'll have
Oh.
time to rest before then.
I'm so stressed out because I was like, I can't go through another whole encounter
Uh-huh.
with zero committed effort. Ugh.
Yeah.
Or
So
all
what
my
are you
5
doing exactly? Alternate outcome? Can you do alternate
that would
outcome
be-
with someone else?
Yeah. I mean, I do not want. Yeah, I can. Yeah,
Okay,
for
just make
sure. I do not want to fail this roll.
Yeah,
That
that's
would be
fair.
awful.
Yeah, it's true. All right, here we go. Rolling again. Still failed. No, he's see that. I was thinking 10 in my
hold
head.
up. I need to read the.
He succeeded. I was thinking 10 in my head, but it was 8. So
Wait, say what again?
I was thinking 10 in my head for some reason, but it was 8. So he did succeed. Got a 9.
Oh, okay. So he succeeded.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I just need to commit effort to re-roll, fail to hit, taking the better of the 2 rolls. Okay, yeah.
Cool. Yep,
And it
so-
can't be used on any given target more than once a day, so I
Got
can't use it on this pilot guide today. But
Perfect.
obviously that doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So it takes let's see.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah, it takes like 3 or 2 or 3 days. I'll double check what this frigate would actually have later, but
It's a long
and
description.
yes, it is. Actually, do we have a description of what the Void's Grace spike drill rating is? Probably just give them the same.
It has a character sheet. Right?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Spike Drive 1.
I'm
thought we
positive
upgraded it.
you would have upgraded that.
Yeah.
What would you have given it?
I think didn't
We-
Till upgrade it? I don't
Yeah.
remember.
I think
That was
Till
one of
did.
the things
I'll give it a
Josh-
3.
Because
That
makes
I
sense.
assume he would have gotten the highest one that our ship could like.
Yeah, I
possibly
think
handle.
3 is probably a good. It's probably the one you'd get.
Because we had like what 2.5 million to spend
Yeah,
between all
exactly.
of us. or
I think
each
there
of
are
us.
certain level of spike drive that maybe like a certain side of ship can't have or
Yeah,
whatever.
it takes energy and size and stuff. So
yeah, so I
it's-
think it's 3 is the max for the current ship you have. That seems correct.
Real quick, since we're resting, since it takes us 48 hours, can
Yeah.
I also make an oracle roll
Mhm.
in the day before?
I'd assume so. Yeah.
I want to ask a question about the place we're going to.
Okay.
And I can look 3 months into the future.
Yep.
And we're coming here. I don't think that Till is here, correct?
No. There's no reason you think Till is here. This is like where
I don't even know that Till's been kidnapped.
Exactly. Yeah. Basically, Kiana was just like, I know a person to take Vigo to. Here's the coordinates.
Okay. I want to look 3 months into the future in Oracle, and I want to know, will bringing Vigo here actually, I don't want to say will it fix him, but is because that I don't know exactly how you'd answer that question. Is the place able to fix him? Well, no, I don't even know why.
That's a question you could ask.
That is a question I could ask. The other question I could ask, well, I could do both of these because this is the day before. I'm gonna ask 2 different questions. I want to ask, is this place able to fix him, and is it safe to do so?
It is able to fix him. It is not safe to do so. So and
Okay.
the
Actually,
so
I
have to show,
specify that second one more. Because
I have to give you a vision. Remember?
is it?
That's
Right.
That's the specific part. So
okay, I picture like her like going to her private quarters to like think about this, and she just like keeps doing it over and over and over again. Like she keeps
Right.
trying to see different, like she is like and like she can't sleep very well. She'll like wake up in the middle of the night and like
ask
have
another
a vision
question.
about it.
Yeah.
Ask another question. She's like constantly oracling, and she's just like messing her brain up.
Sure. And what you see in the fits and starts, right? You see this station, right? And it's hanging above this desert planet. And then you see it fall like a meteor to the desert planet. And crash land. And you can see inside
Alternate outcomes.
and you see that it.
Are you able to specify how soon this is? Because I can see 3 months into the future.
Yeah, this is so.
You give me a minute.
Evelyn
vision.
knows this has already happened.
Within the 3 months,
No.
or this has happened recently.
This happened. Oh, I guess. Yeah, it must have happened in the days you are traveling, right? So
okay.
by the time you get there, this will have happened. But
okay, yeah.
So it crashes, and you guys aren't on it yet, right? So this is the idea is you get there, and you're going to be like, "Where is the station?"
Where is
and then
it?
you're going to
Okay.
scan the system, and you're going to be like, "It crashed onto the desert planet."
Okay, yeah.
With your vision, you know that it still has the capabilities, right? To fix him, but now it's crash landed. There's going to be scavengers. There's going to be whatever else is going to be dangerous on this desert planet that you're going to have to get faced.
So we're not looking for a person then. We're looking for a place.
It's both, right? Like
'Cause she was like, I
you're
know a
gonna
guy.
You're going to need
Is
both.
the guy still there?
As far as you can tell, they're nearby.
I mean, that's another question. I have 5 questions.
Yeah, you
this
see
is,
them.
this is the generous genie that I got.
If it helps,
My
by
back
the
pocket.
way, Oracle can only be used on a given question or topic once until the situation changes substantially or a week
Yeah.
goes by.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know
true.
if that matters, but I don't know if this is all counts as the same situation.
I think it
but
does. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I never read that.
I'm just going to
but-
basically, I'm going to show you that much, right? Like you can see that it crash landed to the surface. When you get there, it's going to be dangerous. But
Well, the
does
second
have-
question could have been about the person, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Is the person safe?
Yeah. And you basically are like, You know that they're there on the planet somewhere. You see them probably holed up in the wreckage, fighting off bandits or whatever else, right? But you know that if you get there and deal with whatever problems, the place and the person still have the capability to fix them. It's just not going to be an easy trip.
The other oracle I want to do then is, can I trust the side characters?
Can you trust
the side characters?
Yeah.
As in like Ada and
yeah.
Kiana.
I'm trying to figure out what you mean by that. Trust them with what? With Vigo's safety? With not doing something to harm you?
Yeah, like,
can you trust them not to harm you?
Yeah. Because in my mind, well, I mean, she probably also asks the question. I'm trying to decide now. I mean, she probably would just rather ask the question: are they gonna harm Vigo? I think she probably doesn't care about her own self on that, so she probably asks that question, and obviously that's true that they're not gonna harm Vigo. Unless... And
then you can't ask another question about.
Yeah. So I'll just ask that one. Then. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yep, that makes sense to me. Cool. So Evelyn,
but right, that's an obvious yes answer, is that they're not going to screw over Vigo.
Yep.
They can trust.
They have Vigo's best interests in mind. All 4 of them. Yeah.
And then I can't think of any more questions I'd ask right now. So I can just leave it at 3 wishes like a normal genie. Okay, but then I obviously use alternate outcome, or am I using alternate outcome the day before to get there?
Because
it was a pilot check.
It would be the day
like jumping, or
it would be the day they make the jump, which is 48 hours after you leave Kulo. But let's see, with a drive 3,
it takes 48 hours to get
hexes
to the edge of the system, and then you make the jump, and then it's a certain amount of time to get there, right?
Yeah, let me.
While you're jumping, again. The jumps take some time.
The jumps take 6 days per hex travel divided by the spike shell rating. So it is going to take 6 days of actual in-drive space time to get to Lucretia.
Okay. Yep. Well, I'm gonna get that point back then. That's
and then another 48 hours to actually get to the planet, right? Because you're coming from the outskirts of the system.
Okay. Yeah. Well, obviously, as soon as I day 1, I just tell the pilot the space station's gone. We're going to the planet instead.
Yeah. So the total time it takes you,
and they're probably not surprised at all.
Right.
She can just see the future.
Yeah. The total time it takes.
Or maybe they don't even. I don't think I've ever said that out loud to any of these people. They're probably just like, "What the heck? Why is she always right? Why does she just keep telling me these are weird?"
They're just accepting it by now. Yeah.
Yeah.
The total time it takes to get from the mercenary planet to the desert planet is 10 days for you. And it will be the same for the Void's Grace, unless they epically fail this.
Or epically succeed. But they don't have Till. Yeah, who has pilot on that ship?
Does.
I mean, I do. I upgraded it so I could drive my grav bike.
Oh, right.
Didn't happen, but now it's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, he has a +1. It's not the worst in the world.
Yeah, it could be worse.
Yeah, so go ahead and make that ode with intelligence and difficulty 8.
All right. At least it's not wisdom.
Unfortunately, you do not have alternate outcome to help you.
Hey!
There you go. Nice. Yep. Well, let's be honest. Ode has always been a fine pilot. It's just Dylan. When Dylan gets the wheel, the things go wrong.
Yeah. So. Technically, before I got that thing, I didn't know how to drive according to the rules. So
True.
Yeah.
You're a quick learner, you know?
Yeah, I guess so. I've flown a lot of spaceships in video games. Apparently,
yeah. There you go. So, Ode and the Void's Grace and everybody, you also take 10 days to get there. And yeah, I think you're both in orbit above the planet at approximately the same time. But I'm trying to decide whether or not I want it to be like you guys show up literally around the same moment. Or
well, their pilot roll was better, so they should get there first.
That makes sense. Okay, so Ode and Dylan and the rest of the Void's Grace.
Is Fergus asleep for 10 days?
I think he is. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yep.
That's how is he eating? I mean, he's gonna die.
Is someone? Well, I mean, I don't need to eat.
He literally doesn't.
Like, can you use psychic powers when you're in a coma?
I think Evangelia, Handwavium, she can keep him alive for 10 days.
The real question is, does anyone give me my psychic meds?
Can you do that? If I put them in your mouth, will you just choke?
There's probably some way you can. Ode, make a heal check.
Oh boy!
To see if you can use the stuff on the ship to properly do.
That?
Oh my goodness!
9.
I can't believe that.
I was
gonna say Dylan's actually better at it, but
yeah,
it works just fine. So Ode, you managed to like basically set up an IV.
You're in my room, so it makes
wow, you set up an IV and give him.
I wouldn't trust Ode to do that, but I guess you didn't have any choice. So
Dylan walks you through it. It's fine.
Okay.
And there's probably like the ship computer walks you through it too, right?
All right. Yeah.
You can literally spoogle anything. So
great.
Yeah. How to insert an IV tap. So, but yeah, I think you guys get the Void's Grace appears above the planet Demedes, and you're currently in the exact coordinates where Darwin 7 should be, and it's not here. What do you do?
Sounds like maybe he wasn't the fittest of his species, I guess.
Okay, never mind. I won't interrupt.
Okay. Are we all in the cockpit? What's the situation?
Yeah, sure. I mean, let's say all 4 of you.
Is Fergus awake now?
All 4 of you, and not Fergus, are in the cockpit right now in the bridge.
Is Zeta still not talking to me?
No, she's not. But she's. I mean, probably she's talked to you, but like still very miffed, right? Like very very short with you the whole time. But I think you all are in there. Lady included, the Tamara as well, looking at this empty space above the ship. And Fergus hasn't quite woken up yet, but he will momentarily. What is your guys' reaction immediately?
I double check.
Yeah, you just put in the coordinates again, and then you move like two meters forward. And it's like, you've arrived.
Man, I can't believe they have this so outdated that the whole station is gone.
And
I hate this thing.
Tamara, I think, shakes her head slowly, and she says, "The computer is correct, Ode. The station is just not here."
Can I post-cognate?
Oh, yeah, of course. That makes sense. Go for it. Yeah, roll.
What's the attribute for this?
Probably intelligence.
Oh, okay. Thank goodness. That's not great.
Yeah, 6 is not super great. You just see confusing visions. You see fire, right?
Okay. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah. Okay. Are you sure? Are you sure it's not just like maybe they moved it?
No, the coordinates are correct. And as far as I can see here on the ship computer, it would have been tracking the orbit correctly. It should be here. It's not on some other side of the planet. Something happened to it. Something bad.
Okay, well, I guess we go to the planet and then ask them where their station went.
That seems like the best course of... and then she holds her head. I hear them. So many screams. What's happening down there?
I saw a lot of fire. That was about all I got. Are you okay?
Something bad is happening on that planet. She just looks at the planet through the view screen.
I mean, it can't be as bad as that giant thing that crawled all over our ship and tried to kill us on Sandless. So we'll be fine. And
she looks at you, and like, because she can like read all minds at all times, she obviously sees the image in your head of what it is, and she says, "No, it's much worse."
What? Don't be so cryptic. What do you mean it's worse?
And then she just seems to kind of go into like a weird catatonic state where she just stares off into nothing.
Oh goodness. Okay.
And that is when Fergus walks into the bridge, kind of like shaky, right?
I sort of stand up real quick and go to like help him stand up. Fergus, what are you should be in your pillow fort. What are you doing?
I've been asleep for I think a long time.
Yeah, asleep.
Ziva rushes.
For it, yeah.
Yeah, Ziva rushes over to you and hugs you, Fergus. I thought you were gonna die.
I'm a little harder than that to kill.
She just looks up at you with like tears in her eyes. Don't leave us, okay?
I don't plan on it, unlike some of the people in our crew.
Yeah, we need to talk about that. We need to talk about a lot. But most importantly, did you see me kill those things in your brain? Because that was awesome.
Most
importantly, did you see me be epic?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't exactly know what happened, but yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, me either, but it worked real well. All right, cool. Yeah, so there's supposed to be a space station right there, and they were gonna like help you with your well, I don't know. They were gonna help me find out what was going on and then hopefully help fix it. But maybe that's anyways, there's supposed to be a station here, and there's not. So I guess we're gonna go down to the planet. And she said bad things are gonna happen, and that was all I got out of her. I think, is she okay? I don't You're like a bio
Can Dylan
psychosurgeon.
try her telepathy on her?
Yeah, to see what's wrong with her.
Yeah, it might be a bad idea, but
It's 100% a bad idea, but you should definitely do it. Yeah, go ahead and roll telepathy.
Didn't we try getting in her brain? Didn't I try getting in her brain already? And then something.
Actually, yes, Dylan, that is something you would know. Fergus tried to get into her brain before and almost died. So
yeah, didn't I fight Carly inside someone's brain?
Yes. So what happened was,
wasn't I in there with Ode?
Exactly.
I was in Fergus's brain.
Well, so it did. Okay, so this didn't actually happen because Evelyn saw the future and made Fergus stop.
Oh, right.
But what would have happened if Fergus had actually gone through with it is, Fergus connected to her mind, started going into catatonic shock. Dylan tried to help him and like touch him, and that's when she went into the brain. And then Fergus saw Dylan as the enemy, and Dylan saw Fergus as the enemy, and they were going to kill each other. But then Evelyn stopped it. So. Yeah, I don't know if Fergus wants to try anything again.
I mean, I don't think so right now.
Yeah.
I mean, at the very least, she would not like purposely try to do telepathy on her, but just kind of shake her a little bit to see if she could wake her up or something.
Sure, yeah. I think after a moment she blinks and she just says, "I'm sorry, it's so hard to focus." Yeah. You guys just head down to the planet?
I suppose.
Yeah. Cool. So we just see the Void's Grace descend onto Demetes. I need to look up and see actually how you might pronounce this word.
Let me know when you cut over to me because we actually need to recognize something.
Okay.
Keep going.
Well, I was just going to say that we see the Void's Grace descend, right? And then we after it's already like out of sight, that's when of course the Artemis appears in orbit.
Of course. I mean, would we have recognized it anyways? I guess we would have, yeah.
Yeah, I think you would have, yeah.
So Artemis comes into orbit.
Yep, and you see that Darwin is not there.
Yeah, we need to
okay
work out something real quick.
What would you like?
I can literally see the future. Why? I literally first day should have been like, is Fergus still alive?
Oh,
literally, I was like,
we don't need to hack it. The thing is, we don't need to actually retcon anything because at the point you had the conversation with Jenkins,
I couldn't see it. Yeah. But then the very next day, so then Fergus is still alive, and so I'm like, oh, and now I can sleep easy. So I'm probably still panicked and like freaking out, but like way less so. And I was also like, will I ever see Fergus again? And obviously to be clear, that was a yes too. So
the only way that would work is if you were going to see him in the next 3 months, and it would be from your perspective. So you would see yourself meeting him on this planet.
Yep.
But otherwise, which is because otherwise, if you hadn't seen him for 3 months, you wouldn't have known.
Oh, right. So I don't even need,
Right.
you need to ask those 2 questions. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm trying to think if there's any other questions I need to ask. I can literally just figure out
Does
whatever I
everyone
want
see
to know.
Fergus shooting her in the face?
Is that what, I guess it would be up to you, Fergus.
Yeah.
Yeah, what does the snapshot of the meeting look like? Because it's not the vision
think-
can't
I
be
think
in
it's-
the
I think
middle.
it's
she sees
ambiguous. I think it's
Fergus
left
just with his
ambiguous.
finger up.
Yeah, you can't tell
Put
him
him
it's
up.
like, hey, or it's like, I'm gonna kill you.
Sure. So you can sense it's tense.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, the Artemis appears in orbit, but you already know that the Darwin isn't where it's supposed to be anyway. So I assume you send like a shuttle down to, because you have like a big old frigate. You don't necessarily need to take the whole ship down, but you maybe take a shuttle with some people to go check it out. That makes sense, Evelyn?
Oh, you're talking to me.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I bring
Who do you
my
bring?
most trusted crew and obviously all of the all of the crew. And I probably told Jenkins next day, right? Like, Fergus is alive. We're gonna see him. He's going to the same place as we are.
Yeah,
And then he probably was like,
it's basically been like a very tense, like cold silence still, right? He's
Yep,
just like, you made the wrong decision. It doesn't matter
yeah.
what the future holds. Like that
Mhm.
was evil thing to do.
Mm.
But yeah, there's a tense silence now, and as opposed to a vehement angry.
And obviously in these 10 days, have I had any interaction with like have I had any interaction that was like forced upon me by Vigo? Has Vigo like tried to talk with me at all?
No, he's still very out of it, and he's confused.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so yeah, we can just kind of
That's fine. I was just kind of like,
Yep.
do we need to deal with
No,
that too
I
since
don't
it's been
think so.
10 days?
Yeah, I think we just do a time
you know,
skip.
you know, you know, also be a question I would ask.
Yeah.
No, she wouldn't. She's too afraid of the answer. I was gonna say she wants to see in the future to when he does get his memories back. Does he love her? But she's too afraid to ask that question.
That might also be more than 3 months in the future.
Yeah. So we see the shuttle start to exit the Artemis and descend to the planet. The Void's Grace, we pick up the Void's Grace again, and we see them. The thing is, you'll probably have to do like a scan ode to figure out, but Fergus can probably make the program roll to do so at this point, to basically scan the planet and try to find where the Darwin crashed.
Do we know it crashed? We just know it wasn't there, right?
Yes.
I guess that
We
makes
also
sense.
know that the lady heard screams.
Yeah, but so
So-
Fergus obviously is
Yeah.
going on ambiguous information, but that's generally the stuff he's looking for is like the signals that would lead to the Darwin 7.
Okay.
So yeah, Fergus, if you want to make that roll, just make a program roll.
Can I add my normal? I get +2 for
I think so, yeah.
my gubbins.
Yep.
Two intelligence. Shabam.
Yeah, 13 is pretty good. So we see Fergus. Obviously, Evelyn has seen in the future where this is, so we just see the ships. I mean, the Void's Grace gets there first, obviously. We just see this. So the vibes I want to give you guys for this entire next sequence is Trigun, right?
Yes.
I haven't seen it. Sorry.
That's all right. So desert planet,
I've only seen a couple episodes.
desert planet, hunks of wreckage from giant space constructions everywhere.
Yep.
Right?
Okay.
Just like a planet that obviously has seen some better days and is now a wasteland.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, sandy, very sandy, and
So much sand.
yeah,
Gets everywhere.
gets everywhere.
So irritating.
But specifically, when you get to the Darwin 7, you see this giant space station. I mean, this is a spacing that literally was built and was only ever meant to stay in space, right? So this thing is massive.
Yeah.
Just crushed and scattered across the desert sands. Some of it is like completely buried, but there's a huge chunk of it that's like poking out of the sands. giant, big, black, metallic station structure. You see there's a big old hole in it, and that like obviously you could like probably get into it using some sort of means to get inside the station itself. But yeah, lots of just miscellaneous scraps and pieces that are like chucked everywhere from the violent crash. But yeah.
So are my parents supposed to be on this station or on the planet?
Yes. They were on this station.
Oh boy. Okay. That's not good. So yeah, I mean, I guess if I'm still at the pilot's controls, I'd probably tense up and like say something under my breath, and then I'll fly towards the wreckage, I guess. I mean, that doesn't really make sense, but it's probably my first instinct.
Yeah.
And Dylan knows that his parents are supposed to be on that, right? Or is it just
I think so, yeah.
okay? She
I don't
probably
know
just
how much I've talked about it, but I probably said at least that much.
yeah. I think when they see the wreckage, she just puts a hand on his shoulder.
Yeah, he probably loses a little of the tension at that, but yeah, he's still just like focused on flying towards the wreckage.
Sure. Where do you land?
I mean, I don't know how controllable ships are in atmosphere. I'd like to just hover over it and like get an idea of what's going on down there before I land on anything, but I don't know if I can do
Yeah,
that.
go ahead and make a pilot check.
Ugh.
See how well you can do that. It's not like if you fail, you're gonna like crash it or anything. But
All right. Is this dexterity?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can hover over it to get a better look.
Okay.
What are you looking for specifically?
Mostly I just want to tell if like anyone's down there, because I mean I don't know that anyone could survive that if they were on it when it fell.
Right.
but
Yeah.
That doesn't mean
Are
anyone's down there
you-
now.
You're just using your eyes to look for this? Or are you trying to like
I probably
scan things?
can't. Yeah, probably scan or like
So that's probably like for a Fergus roll. You can hover over it just
Okay.
fine. But Fergus, you can make a program if you'd like to
sure.
run all the scans to see what you can get.
I mean, I'll probably
Like-
also use my eyes and be like, are there any spaceships or trains or
Sure.
vehicles? But yeah,
Let's just have you both make rolls. So David, you can have Odin make a notice with wisdom, and Fergus make a program with intelligence.
Am I like scanning for life? Is that what I'm doing?
Yeah, like scanning for life, scanning for other signals, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so I'm probably Fergus, can you see if anyone's down there? I can't see anything from up here.
And honestly, you're probably kicking up a bunch of sand and dust
Yeah.
and stuff, right?
I
There's no way
sense
anyone
people with
survived that if
telepathy?
it fell. But what?
Am I able to sense people with telepathy?
Yeah, you can reach out with telepathy too.
I have two options. I'm gonna start with telepathy because that's always more interesting.
I think at this
Sure.
point I can only do that with contact, right? So
I think so, yeah.
I can
Oh, what's
But maybe you shouldn't
modifier
use
for that?
telepathy because you might set off the telepathy bomb next to us. So
Was there a telepathy bomb next? Was it?
Yeah.
Did I miss something?
she's
Tamara
standing
Slavkova.
there.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. I definitely want to know. Is that
Yeah.
intelligence?
Yeah, I think with intelligence.
Okay.
Well, now you can't fail because I gave Caleb the
That's
idea if
10.
you didn't already have it.
Okay. I'll roll
10.
a program or a tool just for kicks and
Yeah.
giggles. Yeah, that's 14.
And 14. Okay. So you sense
Your impending doom.
yeah, with telepathy, you can sense that there are a handful of people still alive. Both with the program and the telepathy, you can sense that. So let's. I think probably just do program first. So bioscans come up positive. Right, you see some humanoid life forms in the station still. You also sense that there are other life forms around the desert sands, but you can't get a visual on anything.
Can I get a mental?
If you reach, so first, I guess you probably reach out telepathy towards the humanoids, and you get, if you get like getting like surface thoughts and things, you're picking up basically like what's probably your scavengers, right? So this isn't Ode's parents or anything. This is like people who are picking apart the station to like strip it apart. And when you double check your computers, you see that, yeah, there's some sort of vehicle on the far side of the station, or underneath a dune or something that you can't see. Not underneath, but like, out of line of sight of it. Or dune is blocking the site. That there's probably their vehicle that they're going to use to
Vice Miner.
move. Yeah, something like that, right? But when you reach out to the like other life form, this is where I want some crowdsourcing. So the easy thing I could do, right, is I could have the sandworms of Dune, right?
Right.
But that's what everyone does. Like Star Wars even did that. Do we have anything more clever that we can come up with for giant sand monster?
Giant flying sand
not
monster like the 13th
Yeah.
Colossus from Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, yeah, that's a fun idea. Okay,
I mean,
so,
that's still burrowed, but it like flew.
right.
That's very different.
Burrow through the air.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm remembering now what that looked like.
I'm Googling it. It's enormous.
Yeah.
Holy
Yes.
buckets.
I love it. We're definitely going to steal
What
that.
was it
That's
again?
amazing.
The 13th Colossus.
Yeah, type in 13th Colossus.
It's an Alaskan bullworm.
Kill me.
And it should come up for you.
Basically, what if a beetle was like 500 miles long and had wing, was thin and long?
Yeah. So, Fergus, you touch upon a mind so vast and great that it makes Evangelia pale by comparison. I think with a 10, you are just good enough not to be entirely engulfed in that mind, but you not only know that this thing is massive physically, but is psychic.
Oh no. Does it sense me?
Um,
I shouldn't have asked that. I'm dumb.
make a stealth check.
Oh, that's the thing I don't have. At all. All right.
But yeah, make a
Use
stealth
wisdom.
with wisdom, probably. Yeah.
Oh, another thing I don't have.
Oh.
Because it's kind of like mental endurance. How can you hide yourself, like using your mental shielding?
Seven.
7 is not super great.
That's
Yes, it
the-
definitely knows you're there. And so, Ode, you're looking out the window and you can tell definitely, right, that the Void's Grace shouldn't be kicking up the amount of sand and dust that it is now. Like it just suddenly starts to escalate and accelerate the amount of sand that is churning and shifting, and too late, we just see this giant. So yeah, think sandworm, except long, like a sandworm, right? It's like a huge long. It's kind of like a bug, right? A big
Looks like a
long
beetle. It's face like a
stony
beetle,
bug
but
with
thin.
like the face of a beetle and like 6 or 8 fins that it flies into the air, and it's unbelievably, like, it doesn't make any sense physiologically why this thing should be able to fly. It looks like it's made of stone, right?
Mhm.
It's hardened carapace and stuff. But it comes up out of the sand. And Ode, you're gonna have to make a very difficult pilot check here for the Void's Grace not to get hit by this thing as it comes
Okay.
out of the sand.
Can I assist him? Or is it 9 good?
9 is not good enough.
Stinky.
Fergus, do you have pilot?
Not pilot, but like with a program roll or like my telepathy roll to sense that it's coming.
Or could you be
I
like,
think-
hey, there's a giant worm, move?
No, the issue is, Fergus, you're still railing from touching the mine, that you don't have the wherewithal to warn Ode of anything.
Okay.
So yeah, Ode, I think it's not like the Void's Grace gets destroyed or anything. But it gets, like, the wing just clips the Void's Grace, tears a big like cut all the way through the hull, and suddenly warning lights are just flashing everywhere, right? It's just and you're trying to like keep the thing in the air. Go and make another pilot check, and we'll just see how gracefully you manage to crash land this thing. 9's pretty good, but I think you probably still damaged the Void's Grace more with the landing. You probably hit the Darwin, hit Darwin 7 slightly on your way down, and then like the ship buckles and twists, and suddenly you're like upside down for a moment. And you barely manage to right it as it just crashes into the sand and digs a whole big trench in the ground. And then you like, everybody's reeling. Ziva was screaming while it was happening, and then everyone just like looks up in the you're in the cockpit. You just kind of look up and you see this thing circling in the sky like a vulture, and it's so huge that you just can't do it. You've all failed your steel tests, and you're just like staring at it for a moment. And of course, that's when the shuttle arrives in the same piece of sky. And Evelyn, unfortunately, this thing happens to be looking directly at you as the shuttle comes into view, and suddenly it just flies directly at the shuttle.
To swallow you.
And it probably opens its mouth as if to do so, yes. This huge, like, angular beak mouth just... and it's just flying straight at you at impossible speeds.
All gunmen to their stations.
It's a shuttle, Connor. You don't have any guns on this.
Right, we're not driving the
You're
frigate.
not in
This
the
is a
frigate.
shuttle.
Exactly. Lucy, I think, is piloting
Okay,
the
well,
thing.
I think we die. I think, can I roll to die?
You probably can, Ode, but I think the first thing that needs to happen is I'm gonna have Lucy make a pilot check because he's probably piloting the shuttle.
I also want to roll. Can I roll a no check about this creature?
Yeah, you can make a no check.
Sweet.
Ooh, could
Obviously
I?
with intelligence.
Are we seeing this?
Yeah, you're all seeing it.
Okay, can I do that too? Because
anyone who wants
I'm
to
just
can.
thinking the climate here might be similar to Xanless, and so there might be similar creatures that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I think it's
I know
definitely
what it is.
drier than Xanless, but there might be
Yeah.
similarities. Yeah, 13's pretty good, Evelyn.
I'm convinced that I know what it is, but I'm super wrong.
Guys, we need to pour water on its back.
Like, if we shoot it, it'll go away.
Guys, trust me. If we shoot it, it will go away.
Scare it off.
So Connor, you know that this thing is called
Who?
Evelyn does.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm not Connor anymore, Joe. I'm Evelyn Leidner.
Of course. This thing is called a phalanxus. And I'm trying to think of where Evelyn would have read about this or heard about this. This is a planet that not many people go to. What do you think? Why would Evelyn know stuff about this thing?
From visions.
Oh, you'd literally
I mean,
just
from the enormous amount of visions that I've had
Yeah,
about
that
this
makes sense.
place. Maybe I just like looked into it. I was
Yep.
like, oh wow, this is giant snakeworm thing in the sky. I wonder what that's about. And I Googled it.
yeah. And I mean, most of the information on it is by like one researcher who almost died going to the planet and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, right. So his like insane.
It's just like
ramblings
never
about
go
this
there. This is terrible.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's terrifying.
Just
That
like
sort of thing.
little stick figure drawings about it.
Yeah, exactly. This is me
Big
screaming.
squiggle in the sky.
This is the big
But obviously
squiggle in
he
the
wrote
sky.
about what its physiology.
Yep. For sure.
So what do I know about?
Would there be a way to figure out even more if I used Evangelia?
I don't think Evangelia would know about this thing. You could make the roll, but I think it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. I don't know, Evelyn. What do you want to know about it specifically?
How to make it not eat us.
Yeah, its weaknesses or whatever.
The most immediate danger averted.
Yeah. This is the issue, right? Unlike another, like a sandworm, you can't just go into the sky to escape it. It has complete dominance over all spheres except for one, and that is
This
water.
really isn't unique that it's flying. This
What
is
about
kind of-
space?
It can't go into space either. So yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the two biomes, like the two things you know would like get it off your tail is going straight back into space, which is going to take too long. It's going to catch you before then. But water is the other thing, right?
Is there a body of water near this place?
It's a desert planet, so probably not. But you can make a luck save.
Okay. Yeah. That's right, boy.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh, I mean, also, I've been able to plan this with visions for like 10
Yeah.
days.
So
I'm
I
like,
think-
we're gonna enter here near this water place.
I think what it is, right, is there's like an oasis, right, near enough to this place. And you know what I think it is. I think the Darwin 7 landed on an oasis.
What's the Darwin 7?
The
Is that
Darwin
space station.
That's
I'm
the
looking
space
for?
station. Yep.
Okay.
So you see the giant space station that's crashed nearby, right, and like all the wreckage and stuff. But you, Evelyn, know that the Darwin 7 has crashed on top of basically one of the largest water supplies in this region, which has honestly, there may have been an entire town underneath this, but next to the oasis, right? And it was just completely wiped off the face of the map by the Darwin 7. But you know that if you can somehow get into that giant hole in the Darwin 7, not only, I mean, if it was just sand this thing was resting on, the creature would be able to destroy the Darwin 7, and it probably would have already done so by now, right? But because it has landed directly on some sort of underground water supply and sunk into it, you know that if you can get into that giant hole in the Darwin 7, you'll be able to get out of its reach.
Okay, I tell Lucy to aim for that place.
Sounds great.
Go this way.
Yep. Let's go ahead and roll.
Can I hold up before you do? Well, first of all, does he get advantage for me making that no roll?
Sure, you can get a +1 from that no roll. Yep.
Secondly, can I make a lead roll to?
Sure. Yep.
help
Snap
him?
orders very quickly. Yep.
What was on my ob? Or do we not tell me obs? Do you not tell me obs? Or do
I
just
usually
roll?
do. I think typically for like help rolls, it's like an 8 or higher. You give them a +1.
Okay. Is this charisma, intelligence, wisdom?
Let's do intelligence because it's like about like mental quickness more than anything.
Okay.
Nice.
11.
Yeah. So he has a bunch of bonuses to this. Let's see. I think his difficulty is going to be at 12.
Okay, actually, hold up 1 second. If we do this, though, the thing is just going to turn around and attack the other thing,
The Void's
the
Grace.
other ship, the Void's Grace.
Yes.
Can I have a different plan?
But you don't even know we're down there, do we?
What?
You even
I
know
don't
we're
think.
down there
Yeah, I don't think Evelyn knows at this point, or at least
I mean,
can't,
unless
she can't
she
see.
did it
They're farther
originally.
than we are, though, right? I mean, they got there before us, so
Exactly.
We're on
they're
the ground.
closer to the place than we are.
Exactly. What I'm
So
saying
they
is,
should be fine.
in the snap moment that you've been able to see everything, you haven't noticed the Void's Grace yet.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I know we're going to
Yep.
meet him here. I would just,
Yep.
okay, that's fine.
Nice, you got it. So we see Lucy just like
And
swear.
then he's kind of,
Well, exactly right. Like he's just swearing like in the same word in rapid succession as he's just like no, like barely manages to pull up. The bottom of the shovel scrapes against his like beak claw, thing, and you kind of like
And I'm as calm as can be.
you skim over the surface of its back, right, for a moment as the shuttle's trying to like get up in the sky, and then as soon as you get clear of it, he just dives and he's like, I can't be taking this I can't be taking this at this speed. I need to slow down. And then he looks behind him. I need to go faster. And yeah, I mean, it's the most intense non-crash landing you've ever been a part of. Right? And the thing is, like, he
I think
goes,
probably the only non-crash
Right.
landing intense thing I've been a part of.
he glides the shuttle into the hole and everything goes pitch black, right? Because there's no light in here.
And then he flips on the shuttle lights.
Yeah, and then he's just like, crap, lights. And he manages to put them on just in time to barely dodge away from a like hanging beam, like metal beam, and down into a corridor that is like a large corridor that is just barely large enough to fit the whole shuttle in. And then the wings are scraping up against the side of the shuttle and just slowly slowing the shuttle down so that by the point that you get to the end of the corridor, the shuttle's almost out of momentum. But at the end of this corridor, there's just a giant sinkhole where some part of the station used to be, but has fallen into dark, deep, abyss-looking water. And the shuttle comes to a rest at the very last edge of that lip and teeters over it for a moment, and then Jenkins takes one step backward, and the shuttle settles.
Okay, but just so we're clear, this wasn't a crash landing, so we can get out of here easily, right?
Yeah, exactly. The wings are like were scraped on like the sides, but yeah, you can get out without. There's no actual like. It's just cosmetic damage to the shuttle.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I don't get. Evelyn has
The
literally zero care about
Yeah.
cosmetic damage.
Yeah. And then we cut to the Void's Grace again.
I'm telling you, if we shoot it, all the gas will come out and it'll fall.
It's like a giant balloon.
Yeah. How else could it be up there?
Yeah. Do you want to try that?
Sure. I mean, I'm assuming I'm arguing with
But
somebody smarter than
he
me.
failed his no check.
No, yeah,
Right,
it's totally
right.
not true. I'm assuming I'm arguing with somebody smarter
The
than
issue
I am
is
at the moment,
Dylan
but
also failed her no check. She's the only one who made the roll. So
she's like, yeah, totally.
yeah, that makes sense to
I was
me.
sitting there wondering, can I eat this? I think I whisper it. I think I whisper it out loud a little bit too. Just
Ziva just gives you a look.
How do I shoot ship weapons?
You just go to the gunnery bay, which is next door to
No,
the
I
bridge.
mean mechanically. What do
You
I
just
do?
make a shoot roll.
The skill.
Or yeah, you know what? I think there's actually a multifocal laser.
Maybe it doesn't matter. I don't think it's gonna do anything.
Let's see. What's your attack bonus right now? 8?
Yeah.
And then do you have any other things that would give a bonus to you shooting this gun?
I have 3 in shoot.
Okay, yeah, that would add.
And also I had 1 dexterity.
Right, yeah. And then what is the damage bonus that you would have? Actually, I don't actually think that matters here.
It's probably not, but technically it's 4.
Yeah, I realized that this is ship damage. It's like a different damage die,
Right.
like level of
Yeah.
damage. So yeah, I don't think you'd get your bonuses right across the board. Anyway.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna roll this multifocal laser for you from the Void's Grace.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the laser has like a bunch of armor pen too.
It does. It's
'cause it doesn't do very
AP
much
20.
damage. Jeez. Okay.
It's a targeting laser. Where are you trying to shoot it?
Right. Well, I think I'm just letting gas out of it. So just its gut, I guess.
Sure. Yeah.
What I think is its gut.
All right. You got a 26.
2 damage.
Well,
Yeah,
two
it only does
ship
1d4
damage.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Right. So it's a different level of damage.
Yeah.
Um,
and the gun only does 1d4 because it has so much armor.
So obviously Ode is wrong about how this thing flies. Really the answer is it's psychic. That's why. That's how it can fly.
Oh, okay.
What
I
is
was
it?
never gonna-
Telekinesis level? Holy cow.
Yeah, exactly.
Level 4 only lifts a ton.
Yeah, I mean it's
It just
it's
has
a
lots of psychic brains
psychic
spread out through
animal
its whole
god,
body.
basically.
Yeah.
But Ode obviously does
It's
hit
the
it.
badger mole of psychic, though.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Right. That's exactly what it
And
is.
then telekinesis from the sky eels.
Exactly. Giant sky eels.
Yeah.
So you do 2 ship damage to it. So you definitely like hit it, and we see its like carapace get like scorched through a bit. Like you like hit through its like abdomen a bit. and it screeches a like mind and air curdling screech. And for the time being, just dives into the sand again.
Score! We did it. All right. Now what? Guys, now what?
That is a good question.
Should we like?
I mean, did we see where the shuttle went?
Yeah, you probably saw the shuttle streaking across the sky. You don't maybe necessarily.
Those guys totally crashed and died. What? Did you see how fast they were going? There's no way. But I mean, we should probably go there anyways. Maybe they'll know where the survivors went.
Lucy says, "I'm a leaf on the wind." Does anyone get that reference?
Yes, it's Firefly, right?
It's Firefly. Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know what Firefly is. So.
It's the best.
That's a show we need to watch at
one of
some
the
point,
best
Carly.
sci-fi shows.
Yeah. It's a great show.
Also, I don't know if you saw my joke earlier, but I asked if in the Chinese version of Firefly, maybe they swear in English.
That's hilarious. No, I didn't see that.
But yes, I mean, is the ship like not functional?
It's not that it's not functional, it's just that it's damaged, right? So you could try to fly it again, but
I'm just gonna try and get it closer because this thing came out of the sand and went into the sand, and now I'm on the sand.
Right, so you just want to like get it off the sand, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Ode, go ahead and make a pilot check. We see you starting to like release exhaust valves and like do things to make the ship like try to right itself and fix internal problems. And once you get to the point where like the ship's computer is basically saying not viable for takeoff, and you're just like, it's viable now, and just press the button. And we hear the thrust happen, and the ship like rocks off the ground just a little bit, and you're just trying to aim it where? Into the hole as well?
Yeah, like holding on to your butts. I'm just gonna try and get close to the place because I want to be off the sand. I'm not gonna try and like get in the hole because I'm pretty sure that somebody just exploded horribly in there. So I'm just gonna try and get close.
Yeah, and I think with an 8, you've definitely managed to get. I think we see you. So you're starting to lift off the ground, and then it's starting to crunch and sputter, and you're like, okay, we just need to like thrust, like turbo thrust, get as far as we can in as quick, like a short amount of time before the engine dies. Yeah, you just like press the turbo button, right? And the thrust just goes into overdrive, blasts you into the air, and then immediately the engine dies. And so the Void's Grace is just flying into the air and starting to teeter into one direction, right? Which is towards the station, right? Yeah. And then we're in the cockpit, right? And we just see the skyline start to flip upside down. And you guys are just like, oh!
I want to sprint to the gunnery station and try and use the sandblaster recoil to slow our descent.
Okay, first make a dexterity check, or exert with dexterity to get there fast enough to be able to do this, because that's like, yeah, I mean, 11 I think is just fast enough to attempt the roll. It's gonna be hard.
No. Yeah, okay.
So let me open up the Void's Grace thing again. Okay, sand thrower, go. 17's not super great. So I think you managed to just like glance it off enough that basically instead of falling on the Void's Grace back, I think it goes to the side, right? So you manage to course correct it enough that it like goes back a little bit, but it's still just like you're gonna land on the literally just like the right side of the ship, and so we just hear a big crunch.
Can I use telekinesis to like get it just a little bit?
Sure. Yeah, you to help the course correction. Yeah, go ahead.
What, I'm just looking for the.
Yeah, you had telekinesis, or I would have just had you do this.
I can't carry the whole ship.
Oh, okay.
So I'd need the. I think I can lift almost a ton at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
That should be enough. A ton of force should be enough to twist it a little.
Yeah, I may commit effort for the scene as a main action to direct telekinetic force towards an object.
Cool.
So
Go for it. Yeah, just make a telekinesis roll then.
I'm just looking for it. All right. What attribute would that be?
Intelligence.
Okay. Did that
6 is not good at all.
double ones?
Yeah, I think you make it worse,
Does.
right? You and Ode are both trying to course correct in
Same
opposite
direction.
directions.
Oh,
And so instead of Ode would have gotten it all the way upright again, but you make it so that you land on the side, right? And so we just hear a big crunch and everyone's seats get jostled. I'm assuming everybody's like in seatbelts at this point, right? Like, but we see from the outside, right? The Void's Grace just like the right side is just flattened and crunched inward, and then we see that happens to be the side where not only the kitchen, but Odin Fergus's room is.
No.
And so the bed fort is destroyed, just crunched inward, right? And so is the kitchen, right? We just see the whole kitchen just get crunched inward.
Isn't the kitchen and our room on opposite sides?
No, you're right next to each other. You used to be on the different side of the ship.
Yeah,
you guys moved,
around.
right?
We moved the rooms around.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we just see the ship crunch, like flatten a bit, and then teeter, but not onto its back, onto its front. But you basically have done enough damage to the ship at this point that you're going to need major repairs before it's going into the air again.
Right.
But yeah, so you are technically on
look who has the working ship.
Exactly. You have like a section of station that you've managed to land on. That is, so you're on metal. But yeah, not inside the station.
Everybody okay?
Ziva just gives a thumbs up.
Cool. Let's get out of here. And then I walk out and I'm like, my room.
I think it's probably where we end, right? It's just like we see the like crunch. The Void's Grace lands, everyone's just like, and Ode's like, everybody okay? Ziva gives the thumbs up. Ode's like, oh no, looking at the
my expensive room. Why does this always happen to me?
And probably we cut back to Evelyn in the shuttle, and we see them maybe like take a step off into this like dank corridor in the middle of and like have your like lights on your guns and stuff, right? And start to like enter and like try to see what's going on. And then we just get a shot of Evelyn as the last person to walk off the ship. What do we see or hear from Evelyn as we like cut to end?
Sorry, I was trying to mute myself. They're behind us, right? Like they crash landed behind us or whatever.
So you don't even know where they are at this point. You're so deep into the station.
We didn't hear anything?
No.
You didn't hear a cacophony?
If you did, I mean, if you did, but it's like,
thing?
It's echoes, right? Like who knows where it's coming from or what it actually is.
I think she just kind of like looks around for where they could be and like doesn't see them at all. And so she like then just looks at Vigo, who's like surrounded by his gang, and just like is staring at him, takes one more like glance down some of the corridors, and like with tears forming in her eyes, takes a definitive step forward and walks up to join them.
Yeah. And we hard cut to credits there. So next time we'll get exploration of a creepy crashed space station. Yeah, maybe we'll have a tear-filled / violence-filled reunion. Who knows?
And just question, everybody else knows that Till has been kidnapped, right?
Yep, but you don't.
So they're not here to rescue Till.
Fergus knows yet.
Oh, probably not.
Fergus just woke up.
Just still in.
Oh, that's true.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
Fergus.
we had 10 days. It probably came up at some point. 10 days. Because you're probably like, where are we going? We're going here.
Well, Fergus just woke up.
Fergus, I literally woke up like during
that's
the
right.
Woke up as soon as we realized that the ship wasn't in the sky.
Yeah,
but is there a reason that you guys aren't going after Till first?
It was because Fergus was dying.
Oh, that's true.
And now he's awake.
But
we also
and
want
now
to
you
help
kind of
that
crash
lady.
landed on a planet.
You also want to help the lady, though. That's the other motivation
Right.
here.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm
But
still
obviously,
not sure
under normal Fergus not being in death throes circumstances, you would have gone after Till first. But
Probably.
Right.
Yeah.
Most definitely. That's the whole reason that Fergus stayed asleep, because of like Fergus going to go straight after which one? Because he doesn't care about Evelyn or this random lady very much.
Yeah.
In comparison to Till.
right.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and close there, and then we'll do a quick after show and call it a wrap for episode 25 of Elysian Road. I'm excited to continue season 3. We'll be back next week. Adios.
Probably.
Jarrett.